door prizes, and so much more. Don't miss out on the fun. Alexander's Heritage Market is the place to be.
Jake and James here from Trash Rangers of Louisiana.
We all know trash stinks, and it stinks even more in the summer.
If you're a business owner or manager, the last thing you want is for your parking lot smell to keep a customer from coming in.
That's why you should call us, Trash Rangers. We're locals that are ready to handle your commercial trash pickup today.
Go to TrashRangersLLC.com to switch your commercial service. That's TrashRangersLLC.com.
Hey golfers, you know that winning is all about the short game, mastering the chip shot and putting for birdies. Get that edge just like the pros do on a custom-built synthetic golf green from Louisiana Turf Company. They are perfectly designed and built to roll true, accept all shots, and react like real bent golf greens. For serious golf practice and hours of enjoyment, it's Louisiana Turf Company. Visit us online, louisianaturf.com. That's louisianaturf.com.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Tex Morris. In Laplace, call Robert Hemel. And in Baton Rouge, call Will Neighbors.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, August 13th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 97. In hour one of today's show, we'll continue to discuss LSU football's fall camp, and we have a little bit of college football recruiting news for you as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome in. It is Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. And this is Off the Bench on 104.5 ESPN. You can also watch us on Channel 19, WBTR, if you want to have some television on. Of course, we always encourage you, if you want to get involved in the show, to head over to the YouTube stream. You can hop in, chat, hang out with all of your best friends, probably see some madness, a tinge of the internet in there as well. Good morning, everyone who's in there right now. Britton, Bonds, Brian, Edward O, John. I think we're going to have a very college football show today, guys. Now, we'll have Nick Underhill on, and we'll talk New Orleans Saints at that point. But for the most part, look, we got a lot of great sound as after yesterday's practice. Taylor, you covered it. We got Garrett Nussmeier, Harold Perkins, Ashton Stamps, Garrett Dellinger all meeting with the media. Hour number two, I kind of want to explore some of the college football worlds at large. As on threes, Jesse Simonton released a top 10 players in the SEC heading into 2024, which is interesting. There's a very funny piece of Iowa news that I want to get to that I think I can sell you on because you'll find it a bit humorous in the end. And then PFF released their top 10 position groups or top 10 teams for each position group. So quarterback, running back room, wide receiver, all of this, right? And it's kind of, I would say it's almost like a nice primer for the season to get you ready for some water cooler talk, right? You want to sound superior to your friends? We give you a couple of names that you haven't heard before that you can say, hey, you need to watch out for. And then that weekend they go off and like, wow, this guy knows so much ball. Okay. So it's going to be very fun. Again, if you want to hang out, youtube.com/1045ESPN. Jake, what up, dude? How you feeling this morning?
All good. Getting into the thick of it where it's radio shows, and then as soon as the radio show in the afternoon finishes, it's Coach Hester. You know, a lot of football practice.
Flag football is back.
Every day, different age groups. It is finally back, and so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But last night, like first time, like I kind of sat down and got relaxed. I was like, oh my God, it's 8:45.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. Alondra, what about you? How you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay.
How was the family?
Wow, thank you.
Family was in town.
Not like this is a spoken medium or anything. Sure, just a 2-word answer. Okay, excellent. Right on.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're leaving today. So
so you're a bit sad.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, your mom and sister seemed awesome.
Yeah, they're cool.
Taylor, what's up?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
sorry,
go ahead.
sorry,
Okay,
sorry.
not good.
We were, so they stayed at Lod Cook. Shout out Lod Cook.
Okay.
They took care of them. And we were outside. And U High was practicing, and I was probably like, "Oh, Jackson's probably out there, like,
sweating,
dying." Oh my gosh, she was like, "I can hear the whistle." My mom, she was like, "I can hear the whistles." And I was like, "That's giving me real bad PTSD right now." Like,
yeah, who knows? I was probably sweating in a carpool line while you
sleeping.
were over there.
Sleeping in a
maybe
carpool
sleeping. Taylor, what's up? You worthless sack of scum. What's going on with you this morning?
Doing good. I decided I care a little bit more about my health now. So no energy drink for the second day in a row. I got the Dr. Pepper with me, so we're moving in the right direction.
I don't know if that is a move in the right direction.
There's a chance that that's not true, T-Bob. You would have loved this. I'm at the Red Light and Walker this morning, okay? And I'm admiring the F-250.
He said it like there's one.
And I'm like,
hell yeah.
I'm at the Red Light and Walker.
The one, anybody who's out there knows, the one is the one right by the McDonald's on the interstate.
Big old F-250.
Well, and then he's got like brand new license plate. It's got like the Marine logo. I was like, oh, cool. This dude served. It says "In God We Trust" on the license plate. I'm like, all right, great.
It's all very Walker so far.
I look a little bit lower. Truck nuts.
Whoa!
No.
Have not seen those in such a long time. This guy had truck nuts.
Actual sincere truck nuts in the wild.
Now it didn't look like nuts, but it was the two like steel balls hanging down. They were clanking a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Start the morning off right.
In nuts we trust indeed. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I still think somebody should put truck nuts on a minivan.
You do it.
My wife won't let me.
Oh.
I know. Alas, I'm such a good husband. Here I'm just, I'm a slave to her whims and her desires.
As it should be.
Yeah. I had something I was going to say, but now I forgot it. So
Is Dr. Pepper?
You're
gonna make fun of his Dr. Pepper?
I was going to make fun of the Dr. Pepper. I do think that's a healthier option though. It's a lot of sugar. You're probably not even going to feel as hyped up too because of. I
know, not even.
I feel like soda caffeine.
It's better for my heart then, right? If I'm not as hyped up.
We're so far evolved past soda caffeine at this point.
Guys, it's 39 grams of sugar. Let's relax. It's not that big of a deal.
One tiny can of Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
39 grams.
Damn.
That's a lot.
Man,
23 flavors and 39 grams. What's up? It does taste great,
love
though.
Dr.
I love
Pepper.
DP. If I'm gonna drink a soda, DP's in the top
only
3.
soda
The
that I
Zero
drink
is great though. Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper Zero is really good.
Yeah, eventually you get old enough, and
that's what my kids like, Dr. Pepper, and so like I make them drink the Zero.
It's good.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually you get old enough, and you start to appreciate diet sodas because you're like, I can't do this, but I need
sugar.
some sort of flavor profile here just to excite me somewhat. Well, good luck on your wellness journey there, Taylor. Let me know how drinking multiple Dr. Peppers a day goes for you.
Whoa. This is probably the only one.
Okay, probably.
Taylor's going to come in like 3 weeks. You're going to be like, man, Tay-Tay's put on some weight.
Yeah, what's going on here, dude? All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started with some sound. Here's your for starters.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help you take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
You heard it right there. Screening, training, payroll, and more. A true turnkey service over there at Tiger Labor and Staffing. If you're looking for light industrial, construction, warehouse, manufacturing, even clerical employees, they got your back, man. So you're looking for the right people for the job, or if you're listening and you're looking for a job, either way, the local guys at Tiger Labor and Staffing are your answer. Go get in touch with them today. Taylor, so you covered the press conferences yesterday. Did you go to practice at all? Okay, so the after practice yesterday, Garrett Nussmeier, Harold Perkins, Ashton Stamps, and Garrett Dellinger all met with the media. Let's start with Garrett Nussmeier. We're going to do a Nuss 2 here on the difference knowing that he is now the guy as opposed to, a backup at every other year during his career.
I mean, obviously there's a different dynamic going from being a backup to the starter. But, I feel like, it's just taking the same approach that I've always taken. Just trying to lead, be vocal, be an uplifting spirit, keep the guys going. It gets tough out there, it gets hot out there. We just got to push through, focus on our work and focus on our job. Coach Sloan's talking a lot about being intentional with everything we do and having integrity and being focused. Locked in focus is something he says all the time. So that's been the biggest thing for us, is just staying focused on our jobs, staying focused on our tasks and moving as one.
Some good kind of mantra. I don't know if mantra's the right word. Maybe like goals, platitudes, something like that. Like I like hearing these like moving as one, staying focused on the goal, right? These are things that every single person can keep in the back of their mind in order to keep them at the top of the mind and achieve them there. Let's get to here is Garrett's reaction to Nick Saban saying he might be the dark horse QB in the SEC.
It meant a lot to me. I got to spend some time around Coach Saban, when I was really, really young. My dad was at Alabama. I ran into him a couple times in the building, getting to talk to him and kind of just see how he interacted with his players. I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot from that culture, at a very young age. So it meant a lot to me for him to say something like that. I thought it was really, really cool. As far as, do I like being underrated? I really don't care. I'm just focused on doing my job, being the best I can for LSU. That's what matters to me. So
I'll tell you what, dude, the kid's got he's got the answers down. He's got the answers down. These are all very solid, exactly what you want to hear out of your quarterback. It's going to be a pretty nice feeling, Jake, to have college football's czar, basically the God Emperor, utter your name.
Oh, for sure it does. Yeah. And like in his first year as an analyst and him to pick you out and say that he thinks that you can be really good in the conference, and he saw what really good looked like last year with LSU's offense. Absolutely. It's a good thing. And then kind of going back to that first answer, he stayed engaged when he wasn't the guy, which I think is very important because we've both played with backup quarterbacks that didn't stay engaged. And then when they became the starter, it started over a whole new process instead of picking up where you left off. Like Flynn always did a good job of staying engaged, even though he wasn't the starting quarterback. Like, he was boys with all of us. He had the ear of the team, even though he wasn't the starter. And so when he became the starter, it's like he had been there. It wasn't that big of a deal. But we've all played with guys that when they weren't the guy, they kind of were in the shadows. They weren't out in front and not even sulking about not playing, but somewhat, being like, I'm not playing anyway, so I'm not going to do that. Well, he wasn't that. I mean, he was always the first guy over celebrating with Jaden, and you could tell like he was involved in the game plan. And I think that goes a long way as far as you don't have to hit reset and start over with him being the guy because they're like, yeah, he's always been here.
So one thing that I think people really, look, this entire season hinges on defensive improvement, right? I don't think that's an exaggeration. So what is the quarterback that is, went against last year's defense every day and now is going against this year's defense every day? What does he have to say about the improvement or lack thereof?
They've done an unbelievable job. The biggest thing, I think, is the leadership that has grown from that side of the ball. They've really stepped up. They've challenged me and they've challenged our offense a lot this camp, and that's good. That's what we wanted. There are mistakes that have been made and learning opportunities because of how good they've played. And so that's really all you can ask for as a quarterback is to be challenged. And so, obviously, when you have a defense as talented, I feel like, as we do, and I think, people will have to learn to put some respect on our defense. And I think they're going to show that with the swag and the physicality that they're playing with. I think it starts with Coach Baker. He's came in and his scheme, the complexity of it, and the swagger that he has himself that bleeds into his players. And so I think they're going to be a really good unit this year. I think y'all will see that soon.
I'm very excited for the Blake Baker scheme. That is I love listening to Blake Baker talk about, engineering matchups and thinking about how he's going to employ a weapon, a weapon like Harold Perkins Jr. But I love hearing the words physicality and swag when it comes to this LSU defense, because maybe that's been the most disappointing part. LSU used to feel like a literal big cat stalking the jungle when it came to defense, like a tiger in its prime, right? Powerful, scary, killed more humans than any other animal since the 1800s. But these last couple of years, they felt really just feckless. It's like a kitten, or maybe like an old tiger whose teeth have been removed. Just completely opposite of what it was for about a decade. So
like a house cat.
Yeah, just recapture some of the danger. Like make people just a little bit of fear in the hearts, instead of last year where it was basically people's eyes are getting wide with opportunity when looking at you. So look, are you gonna give up busted coverages? Absolutely. You gonna be perfect? No, I don't think you're gonna be one of the most dominant defenses. Again, my goal is top 40, but if nothing else, just carry yourself with a little aggression, a little confidence once again.
Yeah, and I caught a little bit of a clip where Hunt was talking about how the receivers were always open, the defense wasn't anywhere to be seen. You have to also remember, this offense, yes, it's a new set of coordinators, but it's also the same offense. It's the same verbiage. It's the same everything. You have same offensive line. You have receivers that have been in these concepts. You have a quarterback that's been in these concepts, right? Even the guys that aren't returning starters have been in this offense. They know the verbiage. They know the code words. They know all of those things. And so, the defense is still continuing to learn those things. And, of course, the offense is going to be ahead of where the defense is. Now, the defense has to play catch-up and get to a point on September the 1st where they're ready to go, and you're starting to hear that. You're starting quick, because you didn't hear a lot of it at the beginning of camp, but now you're starting to hear, hey, defense won this drill. Hey, now defense won the day. Maybe the defense can put 2 days together where they win the day. That's starting to come, and that's because now they're getting the repetitions that the offense has already had coming into training camp.
And if the defense is starting to improve, starting to win a day here, a day there, maybe stack couple, like you said, Jake, secondary is going to be somewhere where a lot of the improvement has to take place. Here's Ashton Stamps 6, Alondra. And this is Stamps talking about how Coach Raymond has come in and helped them to kind of refine their technique.
So, for example, the play might go to the opposite side of the field, and, I might get beat deep on the go route, but they don't throw it. The quarterback don't see it. So he's like, what if the quarterback does throw it? That's a touchdown. That's not good. So it's just little things like that. That really helped me. That's really helping me going into the season, because, you just got to be perfect with everything. Everything, you're not going to be perfect, but the mindset is to be perfect.
And here's Stamps on the entire secondary taking some strides in this preseason camp.
I feel like we've taken a lot of strides. So, we don't really focus on last year. We just, we moved on to a different year. It's a different mindset. It's year 3, so you know what we're trying to chase. So we just building that brotherhood. We becoming more of a brotherhood and just using that, pushing each other. If one day somebody down, we're going to bring a brother up. That's all it is.
And here's Ashton Stamps on how him, in his own experience, how him starting as a freshman last year has helped him into this offseason. 4
starts is actually, in the SEC, that's a lot of games, 4 starts. So most of them, majority of them was SEC games. So just being able to feel that presence, feel the atmosphere, seeing how fast the game go, is the second year should be way easier for me. I got a lot of confidence going into this season, different from last year, but it's not about last year. It's just about this year and focusing on the next couple of practices to get us ready for the season.
Yeah, the game slowing down is how it feels when you go from year 1 of year 2 to starting, and then even to year 3. But again, there's no bigger jump than year 1 to 2. And Ashton Stamps is a guaranteed starter, right? He is a lock-it, guaranteed one of your starting cornerbacks. You certainly hope that someone can emerge and maybe allow Sage Ryan to go back to safety. But for now, if LSU is going to accomplish its goals, by season's end, Ashton Stamps will have to be a guy that we're talking about and feel very good about.
Yeah, and it's somebody that training camp last year, I think it was Taylor who was talking about him, and we were talking about other people, and he bring up his name.
Yeah.
And so, he has been on the scene since he's really been here. He wasn't the most heralded recruit coming in, but he didn't care about that. He came in and kind of made a name for himself, and that growth from year 1 to year 2 is big. And year one, I know for me as a starter, I'm a freshman in the swamp going the wrong way. And year two, you're like, okay, I know everything inside and out. And so you can play with a better confidence. You can play faster because you actually know exactly what you're doing. A lot of times you know what everybody else around you is doing. When you're a freshman, you learn just my responsibility. What am I supposed to do on this play? And in football, you can't really live like that. Like as a center, you had to learn what both guards were doing. It mattered to you. You had to know where the back was going to go in protection. You learn those things as you get older. So he's a guy that LSU is certainly going to count on. And it is what it is as far as the depth of the defense. Like on offense, there's a couple of spots where you could take an injury and still be okay. You don't want injuries, but you could take one. If you had one at running back, okay, well, not great. We can find a way. If you had one at receiver, not great, but we can find a way. Over on the defense, it's not that way. We know that, right? They've tried to recruit that depth in this class and the next class, and you've got a lot of young, talented players, but it's going to come down to them staying healthy as well because, like, just think – I am not even going to say his name. A versatile player on defense that plays a lot of different positions. Like if he goes down, it's like that's 3 spots that he kind of covers up for. And like, how do you make up for that? So until they
you got to have some injury luck on defense.
Yes, they're without question. And they've got, the resources and recruiting where they want them right now. And they've got it where next year's class, like all that's going to pay dividends. But like right now, you're incredibly thin in a couple of positions. And so as much as we're talking about scheme, as much as we're talking about demeanor and talent, all that, yes. But the health of the defense for me is going to be maybe the most important thing all year long.
We still got to hear from Harold Perkins, Garrett Dellinger. We'll get to that when we get back. Also, has anybody's opinion started to shift on something like the running back room? Coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You need Hardy Plager vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door upgrades to your home that will make it more energy efficient, save you money, and give you the aesthetics that you're looking for. Look, that's all at Tommy's. And when you work with Tommy's, you take advantage of his 27 years of experience, guys. Came down here to Baton Rouge many, many moons ago to play in the Golden Band from Tigerland. How do you get in the Golden Band? By being a perfectionist, right? He then applies that to his business. For 20 years, works in this business, someone else, and says, you know what? There's some things I do differently, breaks off. And now, every year it's been in existence, Tommy's is taking home the Angie Super Service Award. So take advantage of said service by going to GoTommy's, GEAUX Tommy's.com.
We always encourage you to have them come out to the house. Now, you can check the website. You can see what they've done for past clients. But remember, they can customize your job. What you're looking for, they can get it done over at Tommy's. Go to the website, GoTommy's.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Tigers and Saints back on the practice field. We'll have recaps, and Shea Dixon joins us for a recruiting report. It's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB and happy National Left-Handers Day. That's right, guys.
And I guess Tay-Tay.
Me, Tay-Tay.
Is it stolen valor if I bat left-handed?
Yeah, even though golfing left-handed is weird. Batting left-handed is
I golf
that's
and
nothing.
play baseball left-handed.
Golfing left-handed is weird because it's just like you're never going to be able to find clubs. And you're like, I golf right-handed simply because
every lefty I know outside of me does.
There was no point in trying to learn. It's like playing guitar, right? Unless you're going to go full Hendrix and just flip it upside down. I mean, finding a left-handed guitar, very tough. So you just learn to adjust. And thus, it's indicative of why us lefties die sooner on average.
Really?
Yeah, because we exist in a world that is against us. And so every day we have these small stressors and tiny adversities that build up over time and stop our hearts. It's not going to help when you drink DP every day, Taylor.
It's definitely not going to help. It is not.
I don't want you to die, dude.
Quickly go around the room when we think left-handers. It doesn't have to be a sport, just first one to you that comes to mind.
There's just always only been one in my mind. It's Tom Glavine.
Oh God, that's a great answer.
Oh, it's never changed.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of a lefty, I think of Tom Glavine, 47, every single time.
Yeah, and you think of another member of his family, but that's a great
Shout
answer.
out
Chris. Taylor.
Kenny Stabler.
That's the first left-hander you think of.
So the
an
reason,
Alabama guy.
The
Wow.
reason why my high school quarterbacks coach was a big fan of Kenny Stabler, and he used to call me that because I was the only left-handed QB. So that's literally why.
Wow.
I didn't know you played quarterback.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. What are you talking about? Alondra?
First one that came to mind was Randy Johnson.
That's
there
that
we
was
go.
The second
the
one
big
that came
unit.
to my mind was probably Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
I went with first one popped in my head, Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
I forgot Tony Gwynn was left-handed.
Tony Gwynn's first one that popped into my head.
Tony Gwynn was a part of a funny memory for me growing up where me and my dad used to go to a lot of Braves games. You know, grew up in Atlanta, right? And he had this weird streak where every time a really good hitter would come up, he'd be like, this guy's a beast. And he would hit a home run. And it was like Tony Gwynn did it. Jeff Bagwell did it.
Oh, Bagwell.
There was one more that I'm missing right now. I can't remember. But yeah, it's like I'm anchored in Tony Gwynn with that because not normally a home run hitter. But on that day, he was. Jake, so we did a little interesting exercise. We get back to more of the sound from Dellinger and Harold Perkins in a bit. But a few people have hit me up. The Jetpack Don's been on it. But I guess on Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's College Football Podcast, Brandon Walker was talking noise about LSU. I've not listened yet. What exactly did Brandon say?
I'll get the sound and we'll play it a little bit later on so we can kind of dive into, but said LSU most overrated team.
Well, Taylor, see if you can find it right now. See if you can find it right now.
I sent it in it's audio only, I think. I sent it in the group. We'll mark it.
Most overrated is, it's interesting because I it comes at a time when I've been very upfront here on the show. I'm having some insecurities pop up about the team. It's a lot of question marks. I'll be positive, kind of the conversations that we had yesterday. But then this also got me thinking, like, okay, well then, because my brain is broken from doing this job for too long, right? And so a lot of times, kind of like we're doing the Derek Carr thing, I think about takes in terms of real estate and how valuable is the real estate and what are the chances that you'll find what you're looking for if you stake your claim to that land and you buy it. Because there's not a lot of people sitting on the LSU is overrated front, right? I mean, they're sitting there at 12. It's not like they're ranked as one of the top teams in the entire country.
They're not the other way either, but they're not saying they're the most overrated.
No. Because, to be honest, they're not really that much in the national picture. Like, they're not expected to make the playoffs. People think they maybe could.
On the edge of it.
Right there on the edge of it.
According to the preseason rankings.
Yeah.
12 and 13 in coaches and AP.
But so I guess it's like, okay, well, how right of a take is that, since many aren't saying it? And Jake, you looked it up. If we looked at like the past decade, how many times, and we're using a very simple metric for overrated versus underrated. Where did you start ranked? Where did you finish? How many times has LSU been overrated? How many times have they been underrated?
So in the last 9 football seasons, they've been overrated 5 years, underrated 4 years. And some of the ones that stand out as far as the years where you were ranked really high and didn't finish anywhere close, certainly 2020 and 2021. In 2020, you started out number 6 in the country. You finished unranked. In 21, you started 16th in the country, and you finished unranked. Those two kind of stand out because some of the other ones, it's like, okay, well, you started 5th and you finished 13th, or you started 13th and you finished 18th. And last year, you started 5th and you finished 12th or 13th, depending on which poll you look at.
13th, I would say, like 13 to 18, I would say you're probably properly rated there. Yeah. Last year, I think you were a little overrated simply because we were talking about championships.
7 spots behind where you started.
Yeah, but they were viewed as like a championship contender, and then the offense was underrated somehow, but the defense was so bad that I think it drags everything down.
The ones that stand out as far as where you were underrated, in 2018, you started 25th, finished 6th. Now, 2019, you started as a top 6 team and finished number 1. 2022, you started as an unranked football team, the only unranked start to a season in this list, and you finished 15th. And so there's some of those that stand out as well. So
I feel like it's actually 4-4-1 then, because that 13 to 18 doesn't really feel like you were like super overrated to me. So it's basically a 50% split.
Yeah,
like dead even over the past decade. Have you been rated? And so with that in mind, like, you can start to see how Walker arrives at the take because he's got pretty good odds on it. It's a coin flip, or it has been up to this point. And we have to remember, Brandon, this show a few years ago, struck a bit of oil in the take state when he came on here after LSU was defending national champions and said, Ed Orgeron sucks and LSU sucks.
I don't think I was on the show yet on that.
You weren't. Maybe I think that might have been when I was still doing it solo. In the in-between portion. But yeah, it comes on here, LSU sucks, Orgeron sucks, it's all a farce, it's going to fall apart. Even talk about how Mississippi State's going to be, and it was like, at the time, he was doing it a bit tongue-in-cheek, and then everything came true. So, here you have a guy who has, found gold in these hills before. If you look at the hit rate, it's about 50%. The take makes sense. I can also see some legitimacy through which it's formed. The fly in the ointment for me, if I was Walker, would be that it's Brian Kelly year 3. And yes, does LSU have question marks all over the field? Absolutely, right? But you have a process that is so proven over time, and a process that in year 3 has paid dividends, that even if LSU doesn't make the playoff or accomplish their goals, I in no way see this season being a disaster, Jake. Like, I still have 9-3 as the floor for this team. And, to be proven wrong there, if they were to go lower, that would be sorely disappointing. And then Walker and all of his cohort would be well justified. But for now, I think it's easy to see the dynamics at play that led him to that take. And I disagree with it mainly because of the process and you got a quarterback, and you spend a ton of money remaking this defensive staff, and I think it's much for the better.
Hey, look, I mean, Brandon's he's got PTSD from Zach Arnett, okay? So
yeah, it's tough, dude.
I understand. It was a masterclass of how to screw up one of the better runs in Mississippi State football history. Do you have a team in the SEC that you feel like could fall into the category of maybe being overhyped as we head into this 24 season?
I haven't thought about it. I mean, I don't think they're going to be just because they have so much NFL talent on there.
I'll go. I think Tennessee. I think Tennessee could be that team. They only returned 10 starters. I know that we all love the quarterback, and I think he's going to be solid, but some of the pieces that they lost are going to be important pieces. I got questions in the running back room. I can see them being 9-3, which I think would be a disappointment for Tennessee. I think that they have expectations to be in a college football playoff. And when I look at the schedule, a lot of people are saying they got out easy. And I understand what they're saying in the middle portion of their schedule, but also like a neutral site game against NC State, on the road against Oklahoma, Florida and Alabama at home, but you got at Georgia right there at the back end of the season when you're going to be a little beat up. You're going to be a little tired. And that game, I think, can get them from going 10-2 to 9-3.
I think, I mean, I really like the Tennessee D-line, James Pearson, Amari Thomas. But, I mean, you still, you do have a relatively unproven quarterback, right? So there's no guarantee that Nico's going to be good enough to engineer a 10-2 season.
Ava?
Yeah, Maliava.
Say like Ron Burgundy, and you can't go wrong.
Just like sound it out bit by bit. Let me think on, because we're up against a break here. Let me think on that overrated question, and I'll have an answer when we get back.
You don't get to study. You don't get to go to study hall.
I can't ruminate. What did Dr. Karam tell you back in the day?
I know, but that doesn't make it fun.
Just catch your breath and just stop and think. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Trash Rangers, TrashRangersLLC.com, TrashSignup.com. If you want to make the switch, if you live in Livingston or Ascension Parish and you need residential trash pickup that's reliable, efficient, local guys who give a damn, that are part of the community, that keep the profits and the trash right here in the state of Louisiana, you want to go to Trash Rangers. Now, no matter where you're listening from, if you need front-load dumpsters picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week, you need roll-off dumpsters of any size for any project, Trash Rangers has the ability to match whatever your needs are. Very flexible. Go to TrashRangersLLC.com.
Reliable weekly service, no hidden fees, and weekly text reminders. We tell you how that is, and if you're listening to the show, you're like, oh my God, I wish I had that because I forgot to put out the trash yesterday, today, and I'm probably going to forget tomorrow, right? So go to the website, sign up today, TrashRangersLLC.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Champ. Oh, wait, hold on. You wanted my most overrated team. Is it crazy? Here's where maybe the overrated thing gets a bit weird. Like the case of Oregon, right? So we'll talk when we go through top position groups in the country. Oregon's top 10, it feels like, in almost every position group. Mm-hmm. They are the mathematical favorite to win the Big Ten.
That's who I have winning it.
They're supposed to be a guaranteed playoff and championship team. Is any of this weird for a team that we haven't seen ever be as consistent as we're now expecting them to? Again, I don't think but like at the end of the day, no, I mean, I'm a coward, right? Like I see it. It's kind of how I feel about Texas. Texas has done it once. Do we expect them to do it again? But I do see it on paper. It's not unlike Ole Miss. Even though Ole Miss, to be fair, unlike Oregon and Texas, has at least shown that 2 of the past 3 years, they've done exactly what they're attempting to do again this year. So they've at least proven it here multiple times recently. Oh, you know who I think could end up being it, actually? Notre Dame at 7. Notre Dame at 7. Notre Dame.
I was just going SEC.
Oh, just the SEC?
Yeah. Because I can, there is a slew of teams in the country that I can make that. Looking at you, Penn State. I'd love to have that conversation too. But if we just go,
remember when we talk about Penn State, it's like the thing is, I think they'll make the playoff. I just don't think they're a threat at the playoff at all.
No.
So like that would be my overrated. They'll still go 10-2 or whatever it is, or 11-1 and make the playoff. But they like nobody's going to be super worried about playing Penn State.
No, the only reason that I would even have them in that conversation is because they miss Michigan and they miss Oregon and they get Ohio State and Washington at home.
Yeah, SEC overrated. I feel like an idiot because I kind of believe in all of the good teams.
Well, yeah, but you got to pick one.
Then I would go. The Tennessee's not bad because you have a relatively unproven quarterback. Yeah. No, I'm too much a believer in everybody else. Missouri has one of the best O-lines in the country. They got one of the best receiver rooms in the country. Got the best receiver. They return everybody. In the receiver room. Brady Cook's awesome. So, I mean, I think they got a very friendly
They got two
schedule.
transfer running backs that are good.
Yeah, they got a very friendly schedule.
Very friendly. If you're in the SEC.
Ole Miss, like I said, has already done it 2 of the past 3 years, and now they have a better roster than they've ever had. The receiver room's unreal. They still, even losing Quinshon Judkins, have one of the best running back rooms in the country. They got Lane Kiffin in for year 3 with Jackson Dart. Like, what's not to believe there? Certainly, I mean, y'all know how I feel about Alabama. I think they're going to be awesome this year. Texas is where my temptation lies outside of Tennessee, but I got burned so badly touching that pot last year.
What was your name for Sark last year? You had one.
Fartkesian? No, but that's funny.
You had one, like your Mario Christofrod, like your Mark Pooch.
Hey, we don't say Mario Christofrod. Okay, because I'm a believer in the U.
Oh Christ!
We're on the Cristobal
Are you really?
train.
Yeah, I'm on the Canes, dude.
Why?
He convinced me.
Because all 3 Ogerons are now in the coaching staff.
Oh, that's right. I remember that conversation.
Yeah, dude.
And we looked at their schedule the other day,
Good
and it
schedule,
wasn't.
Great receiver room. Cam Ward. I'm a Cam Ward believer.
Let's go.
Let's go,
I'm
dude.
with you.
The
Gross.
U is back.
Gross.
Yeah, I told you, Mario Cristobal is this year's Steve Sarkisian. Finally gets over the hump.
Okay.
So
I hope they are. College football's better when Miami's good, Nebraska's good, USC's good. I hope they are. I hope they're better. I hope they learn to take a knee and win a game.
I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm too close. I don't know what I'm. This overrated thing's freaking me out.
I don't think I've ever seen you flustered.
Well, because is the answer LSU? Is that the team that actually has the most question marks?
You can say whoever you want.
I think LSU and Tennessee are very comparable going into the year. I was telling him during break, that was my biggest issue with the Brandon Walker take. He chose LSU as overrated, and he picked Tennessee as his most underrated, which I was like, I don't know how you could have them on opposite sides.
Well, I mean, they have much more, like...
Do they?
Yeah, I mean, what?
Who's their pass catchers on the outside? LSU's got better pass catchers than Tennessee.
I guess it's true. Their wide receivers are a question mark.
Nussmeier and Nico are pretty much a wash.
Yeah. Their D-line is infinitely stronger, though. With
Your
James
O-line
Pearson and Myers Thomas.
Your O-line's a lot better than
Your
theirs.
O-line's a lot better than theirs.
You think it's by the same gap that their defense is better than yours? Because their O-line's pretty good, isn't it?
I think it's a gap. I
think it's a gap. I'm saying, is it as large? Because James Pierce and Thomas make up one of the two of the best in the country. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't like
this
it.
is a first for me. We've been doing this show for
I don't like this question.
Going on 4 years, and I don't think I've ever seen you flustered.
Well, there's that Mizzou, Tennessee, LSU grouping, right? Ole Miss, that grouping outside of the big three. Who do you believe the least in? You're saying Tennessee? Because I feel like my answer would almost fall to LSU, but maybe I'm too close to the situation.
I feel like a couple weeks ago you said Texas was overrated.
I've always flirted with this idea that maybe we've just crowned Texas a little too early, right?
Yeah.
You lose the 2 great interior members of the front 7.
Now they're RBs.
The secondary wasn't good to begin with. You did catch a little bit of a running back injury.
Well, and then you lost Jonathan Brooks, who was your number 1 runner from a year ago.
I don't worry about Texas at running back, though. Every year they lose a running back to injury, and the guy that comes in is the first one off the board in the next draft. They got the number 1 back, I believe, in the country as a true freshman as well. And that's one position, as we always talk about, you can kind of step in and play pretty quickly.
I mean, they lost all their receivers. But the thing is, I do trust Sark as one of the premier offensive minds. Well, he is a good recruiter. They have talent there. But also, like, the ability to and Quinn Ewers year 3. Like, look at the jump Ewers took from year 1 to year 2. Yeah. Massive. I think I read yesterday he went up like 11 completion points alone from 56 to 67. You're not going to take that drastic of a jump, but you will still improve. So, no, I mean,
I think their D-line is going to be better this year than it was last year.
I kind of think objectively maybe the answer, it's either LSU or Tennessee. And, we'll see who proves us right or wrong there. Anything else before we get a break? Got a few seconds here.
No.
Going once, going twice. I don't like this. Community Steel Company. Let's go to break. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com. CommunitySteelCo.com is the website for all the steel needs. The place is in Gonzales. You go see it right there. They manufacture all their product right there on site. So You need metal buildings, you need sheet metal, you need trim, you need purlin, you need tubing, any accessories. You want to go to the local guys, Community Steel, where they have a live and local sales team, right? So they can actually get to know you, form relationships, know exactly what you and your business need. Beyond that, they have the best prices because they go straight from the wholesaler and manufacturing everything themselves. No people jacking up the price for you on the back end, just getting their hands in the middle. And finally, they give a damn, okay? Because you're not just some number on a spreadsheet or some online order from your person that they know. Go to CommunitySteelCompany.com.
Go to the website today. Remember, you can find that location where they're at in Gonzales. You can go see them. They're already open. Been open for 48 minutes now. They want you to come see them in the showroom. Find that information at CommunitySteelCo.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, it's Matt Moscone. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Just a lively discussion. The group has landed on Tennessee as the answer. Though again, it just you know what I do love about this though is just what an exciting football season it's gonna be. There are so many relevant teams. So many people have a chance. I mean, hell, even if you're like a bit later in the show, The Athletic had a great piece about teams that are not ranked that could potentially fight for playoff spots, right? And it's like even a school like, let's say, like West Virginia can actually have legitimate hope.
You said that's not ranked?
Yeah, that's not ranked, right? So, like, if you get on a bit of a heater and you win your conference, you're in. Like, you finally have a chance. And so many teams have a chance that have never had one before.
There's multiple Big 12 teams that have that same feeling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty much top to bottom. It's insane.
That feel like they can.
It's insane. But, like, it's odd because when was the last time that you could have an animated discussion about who's fourth or fifth in the SEC and it actually matter? Normally, if you're having that discussion, who cares, right? It's just standings in the conference. Like maybe it gets you a New Year's Six Bowl or something, but it doesn't really matter. Now, fourth place feels like playoff.
In the SEC for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Which again becomes intense because how much oxygen in the room is there? If we're already slotting in the big three, Georgia, Texas, and Alabama, and then it feels like Ole Miss is slightly pulling ahead of the rest of the pack, well, then where does that leave Texas, Mizzou, and LSU, three teams that believe they should make it? Where does it leave Oklahoma, a team that thought the playoff was their birthright for many years? Where does it leave A&M? Well, exactly where they've always been, actually, so never mind on that one. But yeah, so if nothing else, this conversation does reinforce what an awesome year of football we're about to be privy to.
Yeah, I mean, that's across the country. I mean, you laid out the SEC, but we're talking about the Big 12, and we talk about the ACC. I think the ACC, like, we're just assuming it's going to be the two that have always done it in Clemson and Florida State, but like teams like NC State, Virginia Tech, and what they return, what SMU could potentially do in the ACC. When you look at their schedule, it's pretty nice to them. Their biggest game is going to be against Florida State at home, and so there's a lot of intrigue in the SEC, but Big 12, ACC, and even the new teams in the Big 10, like, we just don't know how it's going to play out.
No idea. No idea. What I do know is that December 19th, if it's not an LSU game, you can catch me on my couch, drink in hand, Christmas tree lights playing at the edge of my vision, all other lights off, dog next to me, with a playoff game on the television at a big stadium. Let's freaking go, dude. More OTB next hour.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I legitimately get filled with goosebumps thinking about how good that's going to feel. And everybody's going to be in such a good mood. And the kids are going to be pumped. There's going to be presents everywhere. And I'm going to have brand new, beautiful drop-down exterior shades from K to Z window coverings, because that's going to be the Christmas present to give my wife. Just an excellent gift idea. So if you should act now because it's football season, and if you want your hubby or mummy, whoever likes to grill outside, to be cool this fall, well, guess what? Get them shades put out there. You're grilling, you're chilling, no glare on the TV inside or maybe even outside, depending on how your home is laid out. It's all at K to Z window coverage, KTOZblinds.com.
You get that outdoor shade now, like T-Bob said, your outdoor space. You want to go out there, you want to be able to watch some football, you can do it. You drop the space, it changes the temperature, it changes the glare on your TV, helps the interior of your home as well. KTOZblinds.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, August 13th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 97. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk PFF's best position groups in the country across all of college football, and we'll talk some LSU recruiting as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. Off the Bench. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, Villarreal, and Taylor Shepard hanging out with you today. Talking a lot of football this morning. Feel a bit vindicated. Yesterday, we talked about all the rookie quarterbacks making their debuts over the weekend, who did the best. And, well, it looks like the grading gods at PFF agree with us. Jaden Daniels checking in with the highest grade at 85.1. J.J. McCarthy, who I was very surprised with how great he looked, even with the pick and whatnot, still coming in at 84.9. Joe Milton, 86.9, to be fair, would never have expected that.
Yeah.
And then how about this? Who do y'all think is fourth in this list? It's not one of the bigger names.
Who is fourth or who should be fourth?
Hold on.
It's not, it's obviously not Drake May. He barely played.
Spencer Rattler.
It's not Rattler. It's not Rattler.
Sam Howell.
It's not. There is a New Orleans tie, however.
Michael Pratt.
Yes. Michael Pratt of the Green Bay Packers checking in with an 84.5 in his preseason debut. How about that? Shout out Michael Pratt, dude, putting his best foot forward. Cushy job if you can get it. Jordan Love ain't going anywhere.
No, he's not.
I mean, being a Packers backup quarterback is one of the great all-time jobs out there. Go get it, Pratt. Do your thing.
Yeah. Hasselbeck, Mark Brunell, Matt Flynn.
It's legendary.
Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's legitimately one of the best gigs in all of sports.
Yeah.
And now they're locked into Love, so like you get you are the you're next in line.
Yeah.
You can just chill. So good on you, Pratt. I feel vindicated though seeing McCarthy up there, not seeing Bo Nix up there. I still maintain that Bo Nix's stats were better than his actual play was. All right, coming up on this hour, we're going to continue to talk a lot of college football. We can open up getting back to some of this LSU sound, but then I do want to go into, like I said, top 10 position groups, top 10 teams for each position group, and whether we agree or disagree, and then teams that are not ranked currently that could potentially make the playoffs. Do you all want to hear the funny Iowa story?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, great. Jake, you don't want to?
Yeah, I'm just be careful.
What?
Is it good or bad?
Hello. I'm a believer in Iowa. Now, to be fair, I'm betraying my Cornhuskers because there's a massive Nebraska and Iowa corn rivalry. We know this. But, like, I also hold that Nebraska corn is superior, and it's not really a conversation, so I don't engage in
conversation. I'm team Iowa corn.
I don't get defensive about it. That's fine. Everybody's, everybody can have bad opinions. But when it comes to football, Iowa was clearly better. And, I mean, look, my biggest takeaway from both the coaches and AP polls is why isn't Iowa higher? They literally went 10-2 with the worst offense in the country last year. Put some respect on that name. Well, Jake, apparently, guys, there is a quarterback competition brewing in Iowa. Now, everybody thought that Cade McNamara was just going to be penciled in as a starter, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yesterday I'm, perusing the internet. I'm on The Athletic, and I see a headline about QB competition. I'm like, well, that's very interesting.
I know they signed a highly rated guy.
Well, no, they brought, yes, but it's not him. They brought in Brendan Sullivan from Northwestern.
Yeah.
He came in June, came in the summer, not even in the spring, right? So I was a bit like, And then the opening line of the practice, or the opening line of the article is, in an open practice Saturday, Brendan Sullivan outplayed Cade McNamara so clearly that Kirk Ferentz must reevaluate the pecking order.
Ooh.
I'm like, whoa, dude. Okay, let's see what Sullivan did.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm like, surely, these numbers are going to be whoa, what happened? Sullivan went 10 of 21 for 76 yards. And so immediately, wait.
Derek Carr's like, hell yeah. Great game.
I'm like, hold on now. So what did Cade McNamara do?
Oh, man.
Cade McNamara went 8 of 24 for 20 yards and a pick 6.
Now that's Derek Carr.
And this was an open scrimmage to the media, and Ferentz was asked, is this indicative of how camp's gone? And Ferentz basically said, yeah, I would say it's pretty representative. And he would also go on to say, remember, he had named Cade McNamara the starter already going into camp, unquestioned.
For sure. Yeah.
And he has officially said that there's a quarterback competition going on in Iowa.
Oh, man, those stats are...
I mean, McNamara sounds like me every time I play NCAA 25.
That's like LSU
8 of 24
circa
with the pick. Yeah, that's me all day, baby.
2014, 15.
This is, except at least they're honest. LSU circa 2014 and 15, Coach Miles would tell us,
I'm not talking about the scrimmages. Yeah, I'm talking about actual play.
Jenny's went 11 of 12 for 300 yards. Blah, blah. Yeah, bro. 10 of 21 for 76 yards. Clearly outplaying McNamara to the point where they're at. Now, granted, Sullivan's 6'4", 220.
Yeah.
McNamara is small. Sullivan had better numbers last year than did McNamara. McNamara was awful last year.
He played only a couple of games, got hurt. But
4 touchdowns, 3 picks, 50% completion, awful. So I think Brendan Sullivan going to be your Iowa quarterback. And with the stat line like 10 of 21 for 76, how could he not be?
Yeah, I mean, Sullivan was much better than that. I'm looking at what he did last year. Small sample size, only threw 100 passes, but 64% completion percentage, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and then added 288 on the ground.
Ooh, Iowa sees that be still my beating heart, dude. Oh, boys. So add 288 on the ground, and he's 6'4", 220. McNamara
is there no one in the state of Iowa that can throw a forward pass in high school? Can they not find someone?
It's the classic Nate Stanley curse. Everybody always talks about it. It's like up there with Babe or the what was the Cubs curse? That was the Babe curse.
Babe was Red Sox. Yankees.
Okay. The GOAT was the Cubs. I was getting him flipped. Yes. Yeah. Right up there is the Nate Stanley curse at Iowa.
Go down to like Texas where there's 1,000 quarterbacks that all are in these 11 spread offenses, and get an undersized guy that the big boys are missing on as far as the quarterback factories. Go to Austin Westlake, and if they've got a 6-foot quarterback, he's yours.
I know,
go get
dude.
him. What are you doing?
I don't know.
How is
dude.
it so poor?
8 of 24 for 20 yards. That's less than 1 yard per attempt.
I swear to all that is holy, I could go out there right now and complete one pass for more than 20 yards if I had 24 attempts.
Oh, my God, dude. So, yeah, McNamara down bad. Brendan Sullivan up. Iowa football way up.
God, Iowa, you were 10-2 with the worst offense in the country.
Exactly, but Brendan Sullivan may not be the worst.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm high on Iowa because their defense is so good.
It may be like 105 this year.
My God, that's just how is that even possible?
I don't know. But that was one of the most hearty of chuckles that I had alone in my office yesterday reading that piece. And I was so excited to see what Sullivan's stats were. I was like, oh my God, dude, he must have popped off. And then the writer was immediately like, no. It's just 10-21, but Kate McNamara's awful. So you shout out Iowa. But they are ranked, right?
Yeah, 25th in both polls, I believe.
Exactly. Underranked, in my opinion. But what about teams that are not ranked? What are some unranked teams that can make the playoff here, Jake? Per The Athletic, they named Virginia Tech. We're
Virginia
super
Tech
high
would
on.
be my answer.
Yeah, ACC's a lower barrier of entry than the other Power Four.
They return the most production in the country. Drones, their quarterback, is a dynamic, dual-threat quarterback. Home field advantage, certainly in Blacksburg there.
Brent Pry? No, that's Georgia Tech. Right?
No, Pry's,
Pry is Virginia Tech?
Pry's Virginia Tech.
They have Iowa State on this list. I'm guilty of kind of just never thinking
every
about
time
Iowa
we have
State,
a list
dude.
like this, everybody's like Iowa State.
But I feel
Iowa
like we've
State.
done this for years with Iowa State. And if they couldn't do it with Breece Hall and what's his name?
Purdy.
Brock Purdy, then
I'm with you.
Then I don't believe in them.
No. I'm not like Iowa State every year has this hype, and it's like Campbell, he's going to be the next great coach in the next big school, and he stays at Iowa State, which is cool. But if they can't do it with Breece Hall and Brock Purdy, and they had receivers around that time too, they're going to be like an 8-5 team. Just that's where they live.
They got Louisville on this list, which Louisville had a very good year last year, and then I didn't realize this. Louisville even last year had this as well. We talk about FSU and Ole Miss being the portal kings. We talk about Colorado making a lot of headway in the portal. If you go look at the On3 portal rankings, right there with in the middle of FSU, Colorado, Ole Miss is Louisville. 2 years running now. So there's someone as well that has made a lot of headway in just going all in on the transfer portal, which means I don't know a lot about the team, to be honest.
Well, they return a lot of starters. I mean, they return a lot of guys from the ACC championship team from a year ago, and they certainly added, and it is wild we're not having a conversation. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, the schedule. And, the schedule was favorable for them a year ago, but it's not that much different from this year. So, like, if you move into conference play, Georgia Tech at home. Now you got to go to Notre Dame, but SMU is at home. Miami is at home. Pitt is at home. Like, all your tough games are at home outside of Clemson and Notre Dame. But Notre Dame doesn't count as far as an ACC game. They play an ACC schedule, but doesn't count towards your standings, as we all know. So at Clemson's really the one road test that you're going to have in the other games of the teams that we think are going to be good. They're at home, and they played in the championship game a year ago.
They got West Virginia on this list, who me and Tate are big Garrett Green fans. I'm actually falling more and more in love with West Virginia, given that I've been playing with them. They've kind of begun, somehow I thought it was going to be Nebraska. Just naturally, life has led me to WB, my online team. I've always liked to take groups. I've always liked to take things that are off meta that aren't like the min-maxing, try to win the game and try to make them work. And so, I'm trying to challenge myself. But look, I mean, Garrett Green's really good. And as we'll get to, number 10 ranked running back room in the country with Jaheim White and C.J. Donaldson. They got a bit of thunder and lightning going on. Jaheim White very fast. Jaheim White last year, freshman running back, led all freshmen in the country with 842 yards of ground, Jake. He averaged 7.7 yards per carry. Yeah. That's Jeremy Hill numbers. C.J. Donaldson is huge as well. He's just a massive individual. I think he used to play linebacker or something, or D-line. I can't read, just massive. So, West Virginia's on this list potentially. Could Neil Brown, a guy that I had pronounced dead at the beginning of last season, what if he found his way to a playoff? The same man that beat LSU at the head of Troy, could he find his way to a playoff, dude? Probably not, because that conference. But still, there's a shot.
But here's the thing about that conference, and you're right.
Penn State. Let's go, dude.
It is going to be so competitive, and there's going to be so many teams that have an opportunity. Now, I think they're only going to get one, not because I don't think it's good play. I actually think it's going to be some of the best quality play that we have in the country in the Big 12. It's going to be a lot of good on good.
Yeah.
But I say they only get one team because they're going to beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, they're going to have too many losses.
They're going to have too many losses to get an at-large bid. You could have a champion be a 9-3 team.
I agree.
Like, I could easily see that. I mean, we're going – if you go Utah, you go Okie State, you go Kansas State, you go Arizona, West Virginia – like we're talking about Kansas.
Kansas actually has the it's very slight, but the best mathematical odds, according to things like FPI.
And a Central Florida team that you and I were talking about during the break, I mean, they have got a backfield with a quarterback and 2 running backs that would terrify me as a defensive coordinator, knowing what they can do in the run game. So that conference is only going to get one team, but that team that gets in there is going to be battle-tested.
Yep.
And they are going to be a solid, deserving football team.
UCF is on this list for what it's worth. What about these next teams? You got UNLV. You got your school, Rutgers, Jake.
Yeah. What's the running back's name? Go.
Bam Adebayo.
No. Cal Monungai.
Ah, damn it. Not even close, actually.
No.
Kind of close.
No.
Kind of close in feel. Maybe just in no other way, not phonetically or anything, but Monungai, Adebayo. Monungai. Adebayo, Freudian slip. Wisconsin seems crazy, but they have Wisconsin on this list. I don't know. South Florida.
Ooh, I like the South Florida. And it really can,
Navy, I got my ass kicked by South Florida last night in the Dynasty.
South Florida returns a ton of production. Golish takes them from a 1-win team to a 7-win team. They gave Alabama a fight. We all remember that game. They were inconsistent last year. They would win 2, lose 2, win 2, lose 2, and kind of go back and forth. If they can be consistent, they've got some – look, they got to go to Alabama. Alabama's not going to forget that game. But they also get Miami at home this year in Tampa. You win that game, it actually leads into a great group of 5 discussion because as we're talking playoff, one of those teams is guaranteed a spot.
Yeah.
And I think it brings up a great discussion of a team like Liberty with a terrible schedule, right? If they go undefeated, or if I'm a South Florida and I beat a Miami, I get my teeth kicked in by Alabama, but I beat Miami and I run my conference and win my conference. That, to me, is far more deserving than what Liberty's going to do in Coosa.
I'm a firm believer that Liberty will get held out because they don't play a single Power 4 school.
It is the weakest schedule that you could possibly imagine for Liberty. Real quick, Campbell at New Mexico State. UTEP, East Carolina, Appalachian State, FIU, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, Holy States, at Middle Tennessee State, UMass, Western Kentucky, and Sam Houston. It used to be State.
Wait.
I don't know if
where's the FIU game?
Not in Pitbull.
I was going to say, you go into Pitbull, you're not coming out with a win. Everybody knows that.
And it's on a Tuesday night.
Gross. No, so I mean, that's garbage.
That's horrible. I don't care if you win every game by 50. It's terrible.
Speaking of easy schedule, though, SMU on this unranked playoff list, and they actually have the easiest Power 4 schedule in the entire country.
Florida
Now they have
State
the
at home,
advantage
man.
of it.
You win that one.
I mean, all bets are off.
Yep.
They also got Tulane on this list. I think Tulane, again, guys, it sounds crazy. My hot Tulane take is that Willie Fritz was the man they needed at the time, but ultimately he was capped. and that John Sumrall's the man to take them to the next level.
Yeah.
To actually make them like a potential double-digit win team multiple years in a row.
It's a small sample size, but he has like the second best career winning percentage of any coach.
Yeah, that's all he does is win double-digit games.
And remember when he took Troy over though, like when Neil Brown left, it got bad quick.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and takes them over and gets them right back to where we've always known them to be.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. A very fun year of college football coming up. All right, let's do a little water cooler talk coming up next. Also, if y'all have any like Group of 5, anything else you think get a big play. But I want to do some water cooler talk. Like I said, get you ready as we prepare, because now you have to stay on top of the national college football scene more than you ever have before, because there's so many relevant teams that you're going to be competing with for these at-large bids. So we'll get you ready with some of the top position groups in the entire country. Who should you be on the lookout for? Who can you impress your friends with your depth of college football knowledge? All this and more coming up on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. GetGordon.com. GetGordon.com. Jake, tell them about Gordon. Remember the Gordon Billboard design contest going down.
Go to the website, getgordon.com, where, well, you can do it all, right? You can see past client results, cases they can handle for you in the courtroom. You can find that contact information. You get consultation set up. You can get a question answered right there on the website. Always on social media as well. At Get Gordon is always going to be the handle when it comes to all of your social media to see what they're doing in the community. See what they're doing with your favorite Tiger athletes. Really, your favorite athletes throughout the state of Louisiana. You can go to Get Gordon on all major social media. GetGordon.com is the website. Get Gordon and get it done.
Yeah, man. Remember, you want to design your own Gordon billboard, win some prizes, see it put up all around the state. The contest begins tomorrow. Head over to GetGordon.com for details and follow them on social media at Get Gordon. Get Gordon and get it done today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Oh, the boss special. Why did T-Bob have a pipe? I dig it. I bought this pipe about 2 years ago at Whiskey and Wine at Don Juan Cigar Bar. It's a very nice pipe, but I find it... So now my office is here, right? So this always stays in my office. But I find it's almost like a...
oral fixation.
Yeah, it's a bit of that, certainly. It's a bit just like a totem. It's maybe got like a bit of a comfort blanket sort of feel to it. It gives me something to do with my hands and my mouth and whatnot. So yeah, it's great. No, Ryan, it was not just for the Navy cosplay. Although I gotta say, leadership in Annapolis is furious with me. I think last night was like 33-13 or something. Some crucial errors right before half. It's 10-7.5. I'm just coming off a 14-play, 74-yard drive. They're going to punt. Clock running down. What'd I do? I got greedy. I called timeout to stop the clock. They went for it. They scored a touchdown. Yeah. Yeah. From 10-7.5, getting the ball back to 17-7.
Yeah,
that then I opened up with a pick six, and that was that.
I had a game one time like against my brother-in-law, and I've grown up. Katie and I've been together for like over 20-something years, and so like I think he was like 11 or 12, and we were playing the old game, and I was LSU. I think he was Miami, and I'm slinging it all over the place with Jamarcus.
Yeah,
like
J-Rock.
I punt him the football back with like 30 seconds left, like just to like try to troll him, and I think he like returns it, and I'm like, oh, this is like now a 6-point game. And then I get the ball, and I'm, like, running around the backfield, like, trying to troll him. He sacks, fumbles, picks it up, goes the other way, and beats me by one after kicking the extra point. Because I, like, punted to him on third down before. I was, like, trying to, like, mess around. So, like, as soon as you started telling that story, I'm like, that's a story that he never forgets. Anytime the video game gets brought up, hey, you remember that time? I'm like, yeah.
How did you react? Was anything thrown?
No.
How old were you?
I was in college because if Jamarcus was the quarterback on the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What's the worst, most tantrumy reaction you've ever had to a video game?
I don't think I've ever had a reaction to a video game. It's never been that serious.
Oh, I remember a few.
Maybe growing up. Maybe like in Super Mario, like if you died, like you didn't start back
slamming the controller.
Probably.
My brother got furious at me back in about 2012 because I kicked a field goal to win the game. And he said, no, we're not allowed to kick field goals in the game. And I want you to keep in mind, this was
the classic logic of a gamer spurn.
This was a 52-yard field goal. Like, I wasn't kicking an extra point. It was a 52-yarder. I win by 3, and he's like, that doesn't even count. You can't even kick field goal. You got to go for it like a man. I'm like, dude, there was 3 seconds left. So.
Ball game, bud.
Yeah, I remember kind of that same boat. I was it was Madden. We were younger. I was probably about, 10, 11, something like that. And I had the ball, game in hand, just running it out, and my guy fumbles. Next thing you know, they kick a game-winning field goal, and I got so furious that I picked up my friend's ottoman and just chunked it. Just chunked it across the basement. Luckily, didn't break anything, didn't hit anything, but I remember being so full of rage and then later having, some moments of self-reflection and being like, okay, that can never, ever happen again.
A little too close to the sun?
Yeah. Also, I think I broke a Super Nintendo controller once, and then after that, I was so mad at myself that was like, okay, no more. Like, there's no excuse to break a controller. You cannot do it. It's stupid. It accomplishes nothing. All it does is hurt yourself because now you need a new controller in the end. So, sometimes life's lessons have to be learned by experience. I remember in high school, we were all obsessed with Gears of War 1. And one night we were playing, and then we were all going to go meet up at the movies later. And I was so mad at one of my friends that I was playing against that I legitimately wanted to physically harm him. And like when we got to the movies, and as I'm on the way over, I'm like, where are these emotions coming from? This is insane. This is irrational. And so that too was another moment like the broke controller moment where I was like, okay, I cannot allow it to affect me to the point where I want to physically harm one of my good friends because he was sniping me on lockdown. Like it just cannot happen. And so, yeah, I still have these rage moments, but luckily, I tend to not break too many things.
What about when you were going for was it a purple staff that you were going for?
Yeah, the staff.
That was more sadness
because
I remember those.
But I remember you talking about it kind of being close a couple of different times before you actually achieved it.
Yeah, that was more sadness. Okay, to be fair, Fonz is right. I did slam my headset last week after losing to Aaron when I fumbled on the last possession.
You do rage in that office a lot.
Do you not hear him? Okay.
Yeah,
but that's a bit of a put on. It's a bit wrestling. It's a bit heightened for the crowd. Yeah, I want you to think I'm enjoying it.
I had Aaron on the show yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said he's been whipping your ass.
He said you suck.
He kind of did.
I suck so bad.
I mean, he went all in. He's like,
I'm 0-3 against
I'm basically
Aaron.
playing against myself.
2 blowouts. I've only played one good game with Navy. Every other one's been a blowout.
They're going to send you to the brig as the coach if you don't straighten up, buddy.
I think I'm like 2-5 of my West Virginia online season.
I'll buy the game.
I don't got a lot of wins.
I'll buy the game, and you can play me for a little confidence boost.
Nope, I don't need it. Look, I'm used to losing. Okay, you have to be willing to lose. You can't get better at something if you're not willing to lose. I tell my kids this all the time. I have to live by the same advice. Like, you can't just expect to pick something up and be good at it. You have to humble yourself, and you have to be willing to learn, willing to lose, and willing to climb. And I do agree. I do find that one of the most effective or one of the most satisfying feelings in life, especially as I get older, is learning something new and feeling yourself improving. Did I wish the improving was happening a little bit faster? Sure. Yes. But it's going slowly but surely. It's just reps. It's just reps, baby. That's all we need. Yeah, Gears of War was so much fun, dude. I freaking
At what point, T, are you playing this game and it sounds like you're so bad that you're falling out of love with it maybe?
I'm grappling with a little bit of that right now.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I don't play golf. Like, and it might be a little bit of crazy behavior, but I don't play golf because like I'm not going to do something. I'm not going to spend money and time and effort on something that I'm just not going to be good at.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it.
But every now and then, you hit that shot, and it all makes sense.
No,
I
ain't had that yet. And I've hit some okay shots.
You hit a drive flush, it takes off the tee, it's straight, and you're like, oh God, dude. And then your brain works as such because of like confirmation bias. You're like, I can do that like every time. Like if I just practice, like a little more practice, like I can do that every time, and that'll be awesome. And it's the same thing on the game, right? Hitting a walk-off field goal to beat Mizzou 24-21 with W. That felt incredible the other day. And so I'm chasing that dragon. Also, let's be honest about golf. The other thing is, the older you get, it's incredible to be out there with like no responsibilities for like 4 hours.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, this is the longest event of all time. My God.
No, I mean, it's so rare that you get that much time with just nothing.
But you know me though.
on.
I'm like, I don't like sitting still and doing something, the same thing there, and also sweating my what off for 4 hours. That's quick. That's a quick round. 4 hours.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't find it. I don't feel like I'm sitting around though. I feel like it's pretty like active and dynamic, and you're thinking, I mean, whatever. I play golf like 4 times a year, so I don't know. It's not like I play a lot, but I do thoroughly. Like I used to hate it, and now I'm not. It's not like I got better. I just find it way more fun now because I guess when all I had was free time, I liked to spend it doing other things. But now it's like sometimes through work, golf can be an excuse to carve out free time where there wouldn't be some otherwise. Font says, yeah, but T-Bob, you're losing the same way. You haven't learned yet. No, that's not true. That's not true. I can see the incremental improvements. You may not be able to, but I can. You want me to go in there instead of throwing 8 picks, I'm throwing 2 picks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I can get your confidence up if you want to. Like, I can go in there and I'm sure you beat me.
No. I don't care. That's the thing. I don't care. It's not win. It doesn't feel good. You want to beat somebody. It's like the same thing as tennis. Smashing someone doesn't feel good. You want to be in a dogfight.
Does it?
That you edge them out and you beat them because they were on your same skill level. Beating up on somebody who's not your skill level does not feel good.
Well, I mean,
long-term
honestly, like I don't know what my skill level is, but like I know how to read defenses.
No, you might beat me in it too. I don't mean that. I just mean in anything in life, beating up somebody that is clearly not your equal does not feel good. It's what we always talk about. The paradox of adversity to human enjoyment. Where, if something's easy, it feels good maybe when you're doing it, but then you don't ever think about it or crave it ever again. Whereas when stuff's hard, you think back on it with these rose-colored lenses like, oh, remember when we did that? That was, you hate it at the time, but you love it now. And you're proud of it. And it carries with you. So.
Hester, I play golf with one hand. Get out there, bro. More power to you.
He literally has one hand.
I know.
Shout out Nub Nation.
Well,
he
I
said
know.
he
I
was
read
born
the name.
without a left hand.
Yeah, no. I'm not even saying that. I don't enjoy it. Like I have tried. I've done lessons. I've done. No. No.
Nub Nation
I'm not going to do something for 4 or 5 hours that I know at best, at my absolute peak, I'll be shooting 95 or 100. No.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't even play like I just always generally playing in charity settings, so it's just
I'd just go lift weights or something, be a true meathead, not go play golf.
Tebow says, Nub Nation says, Left-Handers Day. It's my birthday on Left-Handers Day. I was born with just my right hand. Nub Nation, baby, hell yeah, dude.
That's quite an anomaly.
Ironic and funny.
I feel like we need to change the day now.
Hell no. Nub Nation, look, man. Our guys, yes.
Right hand day.
Guys, excuse me. We like to put it forward to the council. We have a member of our local YouTube chat.
I mean, these days are made up anyway.
That was, so who would we even talk to?
I think that actually makes it better.
What?
I think he probably enjoys the left-handed day.
Yeah, I agree.
I bet he does. I think it makes it better.
He laughed about it.
Yeah, no, don't change it. That's even better.
Shout out, like last night, me and my wife played old Lukey and this woman Gretchen in tennis, and we got our ass smashed. But every game that we took off of them felt like such an accomplishment because they were clearly better. Gretchen, you dog. Okay. Good
Gretchen.
stuff. Gretchen.
Shout out Gretch. Say Gretch.
Funny too. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. When we get back,
I don't really know. I'm looking at the all meathead team.
We go back to college football. Keep it locked. OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Can we talk group of 5 when we come back?
Yeah. You betcha. You'll betcha. I feel like people that like group of 5 talk like that. Like Bobby's mom from Bobby's World. What was Bobby's World? Is that Wisconsin? Go to Central Plumbing.
Bobby had a big head.
He had a big old head.
Yeah, big old dome bull.
Not unlike mine.
Not
my head, Bobby's head.
I meant me.
Yeah, also big head.
Yeah. So
StillPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. You go to Central Plumbing and your one-stop plumbing shop. Flat rate pricing, huge fleet, 24/7 emergency service, licensed, bond, insured employees. They send you information about ahead of time so you can trust who's coming into your home, and a great warranty once the work is done. Don't forget flat rate pricing. Not just a bunch of crap added on at the end out of nowhere. Take advantage today, centralplumbing.org.
225-925-8552. Get everything set up today. Also, remember they can help you improve your space, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Louis for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Never tasted spaghetti that good, Bob. I'm telling you. It's not really me, though. It's some fresh Canatella nudes. So tasty.
What kind of sauce we using, Bo?
I'm a Monjuni's boy.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I like the sweet red. I know it's not the traditional. It's real
care.
Italian.
Really good,
but it's for me. But again, you get from whatever butcher you love. You get some fresh ground beef. You get some of them fresh handmade noodles from Canatella's. Ooh, good God, y'all. Cook them al dente, then finish them in the sauce. A little pasta water thrown in. It just absorbs all that flavor, the texture. Oh. Tasty stuff. All right, Jake, you said you want to talk group of 5. So what are you talking about? Who's going to snag that group of 5 player? What has your interest peaked in?
Well, I didn't know if you had a team. I didn't know if you had a team in the group of 5 because there's kind of a handful of teams. Boise State would be probably the most popular. Maybe a Memphis falls into that category. And there's a team, all right, and there's going to be some people like, check on him. Is he okay? That I'm going to give you out of the group of 5 that nobody's talking about. They didn't receive any votes in either top 25, and I'm just curious why. All right, that is Miami of Ohio, the Red Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
They were 11-3 a year ago,
Okay.
7-1 in conference play.
Mm-hmm.
They returned 13 starters, 7 on offense, 6 on defense, and they've got a couple of games where they can really move the needle. They've got at Northwestern, so a Big Ten opponent on the road to open up their season. They play Cincinnati at home. Third week of the season. They have a bye week before that. They beat Cincinnati last year.
Yeah, Cincinnati wasn't very good last year.
No, Cincinnati was not, but I mean that's a Big 12 team, and like
oh yeah, that's right. It is a Big 12 team now. My bad.
And that's all that's a long-standing rivalry. Like I didn't even know it, but Bobby Carpenter's dad played at Miami of Ohio. I feel like we got to make sure we get that part in there. And no, this is something that's been going on forever, and it's like always a home and home. But they won that game on the road last year. They get it at home, and then they go to Notre Dame. So they've got 3 chances, and if you win 2 of those,
yeah, 2 P5 wins. You'd have to go undefeated in conference, though, probably.
Yes, because I mean UMass, Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Ohio, Central Michigan, Ball State, Kent State, Northern Illinois, Bowling
Who'd they
Green.
lose to last year in the conference?
Toledo. That was it. But they ended up winning the championship. And
God, Toledo's great uniforms.
Last year they lost on the road to Miami of Florida, and then they lost to Toledo, and then they lost their bowl game 13-9 in a real rock fight against Appalachian State. But they lost to Toledo, then came back and beat Toledo in the MAC championship game. Toledo was also 11-3. They were undefeated in conference play, but lost a ton. So, just saying, look out for the Red Hawks. Matt Salopek, who's a linebacker, he is right in the middle of the all-meathead team. It's what kind of reminded me about Miami of Ohio as I was looking at it. He is a stud. He's a tackling machine. They've got a couple of Jimmys and Joes. I'm just saying, the MAC, Toledo down a little bit this year. That was their main competition. And if you're looking at the group of 5, we had the Liberty conversation earlier. They don't have enough juice on their schedule. I don't care if they go undefeated. That schedule is so poor, I don't want to see it.
Punish them.
But if we're looking at Miami of Ohio, you've got 3 chances. Now, it's a tall task to win 2, but if you win 2 of those and you go undefeated in conference play, which you weren't that far away from doing last year, and you beat the team that beat you,
you'd be guaranteed to get it.
Miami of Ohio, man. Even if they beat Northwestern on the road in Cincinnati and lose a close one to Notre Dame.
What does Tulane's schedule look like?
Now
they've bring it back here a little locally.
Yeah, they've also got the same opportunities because they've got
Kansas State in New Orleans this year, huh?
They do. They have 2 of those opportunities. They've got Oklahoma again. They go back on the road to that one. So they've got Southeastern Louisiana. Shout out Roar Lions for Taylor. They've got K-State second week.
At home this time.
Home.
And remember, that's what cost that K-State team a couple of years ago, pushed them down to 3 losses.
When they won the Big 12.
When they won the Big 12, when they beat TCU, which would have put them in the playoff, coincidentally, nowadays. But yeah, that's what made them a 3-loss team, was them losing at home to Tulane to start the season.
So Tulane goes back on the road week 3 against Oklahoma.
Jesus, home against Kansas State, then at Oklahoma.
Remember that game a couple of years ago? It was pretty competitive on the road in Norman.
I just mean to have those games back to back. That's wild.
And then your final non-conference game, you're at Louisiana Lafayette.
Tulane's got to go to Navy November 16th. Watch out.
And so then they start conference play, but they do get South Florida at home, another team that we've talked about here in the Group of 5 conversation. Yeah, October 26th starts a weird stretch for them. They're at North Texas, at Charlotte, Temple at home, at Navy. So 3 out of 4 weeks are going to be on the road.
Can they find a way to get it done? Well, now if they can make the playoff, guys. They would have made the playoff a couple of years ago, huh?
They would have made it
when they played New Year 6?
Yeah, because they got the Group of 5 spot.
Yeah, because they got the Group of 5 bid.
Yeah.
So already in recent memory, we've seen them do it. And it looks like because of their schedule, they could maybe do it again. Can John Sumrall find a way?
So every team, like in the American, they have that, what we're talking about. They have either one or a group of games where you're playing against solid Power 4 competition. Again, that's why I'm Liberty, Jacksonville State, like the Conference USA teams aren't going to be as high on my list. Like, okay, UTSA, well, they've got a game at Texas. Tulane's got Kansas State at Oklahoma. Memphis has at Florida State. USF has at Alabama and also Miami. Like, that's different. And the American's better than Coosa anyways. I think that's an obvious statement.
Yeah.
But if you don't have one of those games, even Jacksonville State has at Louisville. That's a team that at least played for the conference championship a year ago. You got to have one, man. You can't have Liberty's schedule and go undefeated and expect me, especially since you got housed by Oregon last year, 45-6 in a New Year's Six bowl game. So it's going to be tough for the Flames. I think that's what they are, to get into the college football playoff.
Yeah. Sorry, Taylor. All right, when we get back,
He
let's wrap up.
feels like somebody that would really enjoy liberty.
He does.
Really does.
He loves Jamie Chadwell.
No, remember I crapped all over Jamie Chadwell because he said that LSU bought C.J. Daniels when they bought Caden Salter to return to school.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm out on Jamie Chadwell, man.
Yeah.
Plus, he left Coastal Carolina, and I like Coastal Carolina.
Well, like Jamie
Screw Jamie Chadwell.
Because he lost C.J. Daniels. All right, when we get back, close it hour 2 of OTB.
Sadwell?
Yes, it's
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
But Taylor talked all over my joke.
You would never.
Never. Go to oakparkevents.com. That's oakparkevents.com. As I always tell you guys, park spelled P-A-R-C. And look, what I'm talking about here are a couple of venues for really anything that you need. You want monthly business luncheons where everybody gets together, but you don't want to actually have to do anything besides like choose the menu. Well, guess what? Oak Park Events, they are a true turnkey service. They can match those needs. They tell you about the weddings. What about any corporate events, okay? Because here at Oak Park, we got numerous conference centers, meeting room, banquet halls. We have inside areas, outside areas. So if you're doing a corporate retreat, like I said, networking breakfasts or luncheons, meetings, all-day seminars, crawfish boils, company picnics. Yes, even company picnics with bouncy houses or an elegant dinner. It's all at Oak Park Events. Check them out today. Book a consult, oakparkevents.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscone. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
The best.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back into OTB. Another group of 5 teams. Shout out Alondra for reminding me here. Texas State, the Bobcats in San Marcos, Texas. They went 8-5 a year ago, but a big turnaround from what they were previous, because in 19 they were 3-9. In 2020 they were 2-10. In 21 they were 4-8. In 2022 they were 4-8. And so to be 8-5 last year under a first-year head coach is moving in the right direction. They return 18 starters, and they also add, as Alondra pointed out, 17th-year quarterback Jordan McLeod. If you'll remember what he did at James Madison last year, I think he put himself into the portal expecting to be a hot commodity, and the market just wasn't there. And I don't know why, but I think he's a pretty good player.
He put himself in a little bit early right after the season, and there was a lot of talk about him, but then think about all the bigger names that jumped in. Yeah. Dylan Gabriel jumped in. Riley Leonard jumped in. He kind of just got passed over, but no, he was really, really good. I mean, they were, 8-0 at one point last year?
They
had college game day coming down.
11-2.
McLeod was excellent a year ago.
Threw for 35 touchdowns and 3,657 passing yards. Ranked second in the Duke's single-season passing records.
Yeah, as Pep TJ used to say, that dog will hunt.
Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year and also first team All Sun Belt.
Yeah. So him going to Texas State within the same conference, that feels like a major move for Texas State. And look, they also have what we always talk about here in this conversation. They have got enough juice on their schedule. Now, theirs is kind of funny because they play UTSA. That's going to be a home game out of the American, who's expected to have a big year. But they also play Arizona State, now in the Big 12, at home on September the 12th, a Thursday night game. So going to be a nationally televised game. And Arizona State's not going to be a good team, but here's the deal. If you have a Power 4 team on your schedule, they don't have to be great. If you're the group of 5 trying to punch up and get into that playoff, you just have to have it on your resume that you played a Big 12 team and you were victorious in that game. And so Texas State being at home, third game of the year, they might actually be a favorite in that game against Arizona State. So Texas State, add the Bobcats to the list of group of 5 teams. All right, that's going to do it for hour number 2, but don't worry, we're jumping back. We got Nick Underhill joining us shortly to talk New Orleans Saints. It is OTB. Stay locked in.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to agtempbr.com. Agtempbr.com is the website, and we tell you every single day, right? So easy to schedule that appointment. You can do it right there online. And chances are they're going to show up today. In fact, I have done it when I've been in studio about to leave, and AgTemp has beaten me to my house. That's what kind of service you're going to get with AgTemp. And one of the other things that we love with them is you're going to know exactly who is coming into your home. Like, I've never really seen anybody else do this. Not only do you get a picture of who is coming into your home so you can trust that it is the right person, but also like a full bio of who that person is. I mean, even it breaks it down to like their hobbies. Like, you are going to know who is entering your home, and you know that you're going to get the best service. The internet hates everything. I mean, just hates everything, but you know what they do love? They love AgTemp. Check out the reviews online. agtempbr.com is the site, agtempbr.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is
Good morning. It's a 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, August 13th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 97. In hour 3 of today's show, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football hops on at 9:15 to give us an update on the black and gold. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. And right now it's time to talk to our guy, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. Nick, live out there in California, covering this New Orleans Saints team. Unfortunately, no joint practices to break down this week, but we do have a preseason game to talk about. And yeah, Nick, kind of sucks, man. Obviously, I am I have staked my claim that there's gold in these here hills. I am a carny. I was hoping for some Carfax that I could try to sell people. Unfortunately, now there's a lot of good. I'm going to get to it, but unfortunately, that one offense left a lot to be desired. And even more unfortunately, it's one of those situations where it's like, maybe you were going to the first day of school and you had all these insecurities building in your head, but then you try to tell yourself, you know what, maybe it's actually not going to be that bad. I don't have acne. I'm not overweight. And then you get to school and the bully immediately calls you a pimple-faced fat ass, right? And like all of your insecurities are just reinforced and deepened because the offensive line looked like the weakness and Derek Carr didn't necessarily look like he dealt with it well.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start. So look, I think the thing is I'm not worried about the offense as a whole. I'm worried about right tackle. I think that's kind of where my concerns lie. Like I don't think they showed a whole lot. Like, the stuff we're seeing out here is a lot different than what we saw in the game. And, I would just point back to the depth chart. Like, you look at the offensive depth chart, and, like, there was stuff on there that it looked like they were trying to hide in the same mentality you come into this game, and a lot of stuff they're doing in practice they aren't doing in the game. And it just seems like maybe that's the method of operation with the staff, is that they don't want to show their hands until they have to show their hand. And that's fine. Like, you still got to be able to do it, though, when the actual games start. And the level of operation in this was pretty poor. Like, you come out and it's just like, if it's just, hey, line up and play, you want them to be able to line up and play. And there wasn't a lot of stuff that looked very good. But I don't think that's representative of what we're going to see over the course of 17 weeks of the season. But I do think that the inability to block might be. And that's a little bit scary. I mean, that was the biggest concern coming into everything. And then you go into the game and right tackle can't block. I mean, that's, I just don't know what they're going to do with Penning overall, because it looked to me like if you come at him with power, like he was on skates on a bull rush, and if you came at him with speed, like he was kind of stuck in place. And I don't know how you fix that. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe there's a way to get it serviceable over the next 3 weeks until the game. But the concerns are. I mean, I'm terrified by it, and I didn't think Lucas Patrick was great either. So, I mean, it's 2 out of 5 spots on the line that I think they got to find some answers for. And, if they do block a little bit better, like there was a screen that I thought was left on the field that would have probably been, I don't know, maybe a 15, 20-yard gain. And then there's a pass to Olave that obviously got interrupted by pressure off the right side. If they hit those 2 plays and let's say that play to Carr goes for a touchdown, like I think the feel of things are quite different. And that's just blocking, and that's with all the other plays still looking like a mess. So I think if you can clean that up a little bit, like maybe there's something there. But like, I mean, the problem is when you bring in the motions, play action, all that stuff, like you can take some pressure off the offensive line, but at some point it's going to be 3rd and 12 and you got to throw a deep ball and you just got to drop, and your quarterback's on a 5-7 step drop. Your tackles have to block. Can they do it? And I don't know. Fuaga I thought was good, but Penning, I mean, man, I think you look at it one more time, and if it isn't better this weekend, like I think you seriously have to consider doing something different, because like that is not. Would they play 9 snaps and like 2 or 3 of them are blown up by him? Like
crazy.
That's not doable in a real game situation.
And unfortunately, it's indicative of what happened.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask the question, like, how many weeks until you see him replaced? But I think you're right. I don't think that you get to the regular season. If you show up or not show up, I guess I should say, like you did against the Cardinals, like you're not going to start in week number 1. And so, Nick, if he can't get it right, if he can't get rid of the yips, because he absolutely has them right now, what does right tackle look like for the Saints heading into week 1? Like, what are the other options?
Landon Young's an option. I haven't.
He played terrible too.
Udo is another option.
He actually played well though.
Yeah, I'm okay with him. He had the back-to-back penalties, but outside of that, like I thought, I think he had 15 blocking snaps, and I don't think he had a lot of pressure on any of them. Like, no. So he looks like maybe, like, and again, those are against the 2s and 3s, but like maybe you can put him out there and just be serviceable. I don't think there's any scenario where that position thrives. I just think you need to be able to just hide the fact that you have a problem. And I'm not talking about like a smooth road, like just cover up the pothole a little bit. Like that's all it needs to be. And if you can do that, maybe you can be all right. But what they're doing now doesn't work. So I think that's where I would probably look to have Mark Evans on the team too. He was around last year. He seems to be an okay player, but there isn't a situation where I think they can do something where you feel good about this. Not with what they have in house. I doubt there's a free agent out there that's actually making a difference. Bakhtiari's still available, but like there has to be something wrong if he's still out there. It's just not. Yeah, I would say for me, it's one more week, and if it doesn't work, I mean, I think you got to use that last preseason game to like maybe get somebody else some reps, alongside somebody they're going to be playing with. So, I don't know, man. It's a terrifying situation. I mean, I think you go through the offseason and you're like, all right, 1st round pick, new staff, new position. Like there has to be a way to just get this guy with these physical traits, this athleticism to just like a okay place. And it just seems not to be happening. And he's had every opportunity. He had all last season. He had the opportunity to start last year, didn't work. Had the opportunity to be the jumbo guy, didn't work. You know, he has this whole offseason. It's rough when the guy that trained him, Duke Manyweather, is tweeting that it looks like he's abandoned all his technique and you know, reverted to something they didn't see during their training during the offseason. I mean, like, if your coach is, your trainer's kind of, you know, stepping away from the situation, like that's a rough look.
Yeah, he don't want people to think that he taught them what he's doing. So he's like trying to separate himself. You're right. It's like doomsday scenario. He's like, wait a minute, hold up. That is not what I taught. I don't want people thinking that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that happen before. I mean, it's not good. It's not a good situation. And I don't know. Maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a way just to get it to okay. Because like he has looked better than that. What we saw right there in practice. His practices still have not been good. What we've seen in practices was still like worrisome. This is a step further to like completely alarming though. And you know, now it's like you got to get back to worrisome to get to just not absolutely a train wreck. And I don't know. I don't know if there's enough time, and I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, I think they got to be seriously looking at trying to do something else.
David Bakhtiari's just out there, just floating around.
Remember, he had a bunch of injury stuff. He could barely play games last year for the Packers.
Okay, so I mean,
like he can't play on turf.
Okay, just can't, just flat out can't.
I think he won't.
Okay.
I don't think he will. But
all right, Nick, let's get something positive though, because obviously that's a big concern. That's going to be the highlight. But if this team is going to be a playoff team, it's going to be because of defense. You know, 9th in scoring defense 2 years ago, 6th last year. I mean, you know, to just fully give myself over to reactionary hype, the D-line was friggin' awesome. Chase Young was very much what was advertised. I mean, 4 sacks, 15 pressured, seeing Brzee get involved, seeing Nathan Shepard get involved, Granderson seeming uber confident. Secondary, even without Lattimore, looks solid. Like, this feels like it could be a top 5 group in the entire league. What was your most positive takeaway from Saturday?
Yeah, defense definitely is way up there. A lot of the stuff, like you said, on the front, I thought looked pretty good. Willie Gay, I think, looked pretty good. Secondary looked good. Yeah, I mean, I think everything on that side of the ball looked pretty solid overall. It looks like they have decent depth in a lot of spots on defense. The linebacker thing is really big to me. Like, figuring out how to stop mobile guys, like at the quarterback position, I think is a huge thing for them, and that's supposed to be Willie Gay's specialty. And I think you really saw the instincts and the range in that game. And you know, I think when they're playing the Eagles, like, I feel a little bit better about their ability to slow them down and you know, keep Hurts contained if he's part of that package, and he probably will be. So that was a big thing for me. You know, both the backup quarterbacks I thought looked really good. I like where both of them are headed. I mean, Haener looks like somebody that's developing the right way. I think Rattler, you know, showed in the game that he's someone that has upside. You know, and I know everybody's excited about that game. I thought he looked way better in practice than he did in the game, and like I thought he looked pretty solid in moments in the game. And I'm, you know, excited to see where he goes from there. But if he gets to peak practice level in one of these next 2 games, like, people are going to be like really going crazy over some of the stuff that he's been able to do. But yeah, there were a handful of bright spots. I think overall, like, the way they played in this game, I think kind of is representative of everything we've seen in practice, except for how the first team performed. But I think everything else that we thought was worrisome showed up as worrisome. I think everything that we thought was good showed up is good. You know, I think it was good to see Charlie Smith hit a game-winning field goal. Like, his leg is insane, and you know, it's the consistency I think is the biggest factor. And then the other one is, like, can he do this with people actually watching him? That was the first time he's ever hit the field goal in a football game. So there's a bunch of stuff that I think that I think look, you know, pretty good overall. I'm worried about, you know, the tackle spot, of course, and you know, I'm a little bit worried about running back. I think they wanted to be able to be okay without Kendre Miller, and you know, it kind of feels like, man, they really need him back at that spot. I thought Jamal was okay, but he looks I don't know, maybe lacking a little bit of burst. So I think if they got Kendre back, that would shore up that position a little bit. But you know, overall, I thought pretty good. Dallin Holker, I thought was okay. Left some blocking things I thought need to be a little bit better, but it was a decent starting spot. So yeah, I mean, I think the big takeaway though, like you said, definitely the defense. They look like they can be the backbone of this team, and I think they will be improved on that. Within the front seven.
Hey, what about a player that we've talked about, we don't really know anything about, but you certainly have draft capital in that player, is Isaiah Foskey. He played 55 snaps the other night. Did you see anything from Isaiah Foskey that makes you believe that he can help this team in any way outside of special teams?
Not in the game, no. I mean, and that was one of the other big takeaways. I mean, I thought that was pretty disappointing overall. There's been glimmers of some stuff. I think when he's able to use his athleticism, he can win. But when it starts coming to put together a pass rush plan and counters and stuff like that, I just don't think it's gotten there quite yet. There's been a couple little moments, a couple times. We post the one-on-one videos every day on our website, and there is evidence of him being able to win within those videos, but it definitely didn't happen here. And again, it's some of these guys they brought in on the defensive line, over the last 4 or 5 years. It's been just so they haven't hit on them. They haven't hit on them. Yeah,
horrible.
Flonga looks like he could be good, but yeah, I feel you do. And Brzee, I guess Flonga and Brzee, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got two there. I mean, big school guys, I guess. I mean, that's a little. I guess Foskey's Notre Dame though. So I don't know.
What about Turner, Nick? I feel like in the practice reports, Peyton Turner's name's been popping up. I have no expectation, but has he been moving in the right direction?
He was moving in the right direction last year, the year before. I think he practices well. I think he succeeds. It's really for him. It's just health. That's it. I really think that. I mean,
so he could. You would think he could be pretty good if he would play.
Yeah, he would definitely be pretty good if he could play. I don't think he has the ceilings that Marcus Davenport had, where at times you're like, oh my god, this guy's unbelievable. But
yeah,
he's good. He can be a good player on the D line, a very good rotational player. But yeah, it's just a matter of staying on the field. He's big, strong, and he has a plan. And those things consistently show up with him. I think if he can be out there, I mean, I think they're better. Chase Young, obviously, that group, I think can be really good. If Foskey could give them anything, it's just icing on the cake. And I think they need more depth at that position, obviously, because there's a lot of injury risk. But Foskey it's not coming together for him. And I think I'd maybe hope that he could be the last guy in that rotation. But after seeing the game, it just kind of killed my expectations for him.
Go ahead, Jake. You got anything else?
There's going to be disappointment in my question. Same situation. It's just that position, and you've tried to figure somebody out, and for different reasons, they just haven't worked out. We were talking about the other day, I can't imagine when McCoy on the offensive front, when he's going out there and he's playing at a high level, and just the guys next to him, it's just been the bomb squad. It's just been miss after miss. I mean, Cesar Ruiz played horrible the other night, and that's a player that you have to count on, you have to believe in. So it's not just one guy. I mean, it's just multiple guys. Like you mentioned, there's two that you feel comfortable with right now, Nick, and with a quarterback that doesn't deal with pressure well at all. In fact, it is kind of his kryptonite. I just don't know what is going to help this Saints, regardless of what they showed the other night. You can not show something, but if you're getting beaten your one-on-one matchups up front, I don't really think that it matters.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can help it with play action, but again, you go at some point, you got to drop back and just block. Honestly, you have to do that, and it's just it's not good. But yeah, I mean, look, if he's back there, it's not just even the pressure thing. I think he gets rattled altogether. You see him sniping at McCoy last year. If he's getting hit all the time, I think just the ability to kind of have a cohesive offense, is just ruined, in the locker room. I think it's just bad overall. He just does not handle that stuff great. And the thing with this whole entire situation, and if you want to even just say, hey, they figure this out, they figure that out. My problem with the offense right now is you look around and it just feels like you're putting so much on Carr just with the skill position players. Like, I don't think they have enough of those. Like, I think you're putting too much on him to make every single play instead of having people that can, like, you know, lift him up a little bit. Then you add the line to that mix too, and it's just kind of like, how is this gonna you know, thrive? And I think it's very hard to find a reasonable outcome where this offense is thriving. Like, I think they can be maybe fine. You know, I think that's the ceiling on it. And I think this game, you know, if you had any type of hope, like, of them being great on that side of the ball, like, again, I don't think it's representative of what the final product's going to look like, but I think it definitely does, you know, lower the ceiling a little bit when you kind of see it in action and just see, you know, it's kind of in your face. Like, you know, like, okay, if, but then, like, you see, like, the accumulation of all those ifs, and it's a lot of stuff they got to try to cover up.
Well, unfortunately, we won't have joint practices this week, but you still will get to see them against the Niners later in the week. Until then, if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening in camp, you want to sign up for NewOrleans.football. I've been a proud subscriber for years now. Nick, Mike Triplett, the entire team, just giving you really great, constant insight to your favorite NFL team. Nick, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Nick.
Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill on Twitter. New Orleans on Football is the website. So, yeah, you know, unfortunately, your greatest insecurity.
Oh, boy.
Like, it's funny because Nick wrote about how, like he just talked about, right tackle and left guard are, you know, you thought they were weaknesses coming in. They're unquestioned weaknesses, and that's not even getting into Cesar Ruiz, like you said, in his pass blocking grade. So, unfortunately, early returns on the offensive line that had all these question marks, we were desperately hoping could surprise us. Early returns are not good. The Magic 8 Ball says signs point towards no. So,
I mean, I don't know where you go if you have what they have currently. Like, when we look up and you're good at left tackle, you weren't good the other night at left guard, you're good at center, you were bad yet again at right guard, and you were not a pro football player at right tackle.
Bit of bad luck thrown in the mix. Like Ryan Ramczyk should still be playing at a all-pro level right now if life was fair.
And that sucks, and you hate it, no doubt about it. But still, that's where you're at. That's what you have. And you were betting on your first-round tackle, who's your left tackle, to be able to move over to the right side and solidify himself, and we just have not seen it. Yeah. But let's not act like Cesar Ruiz has been great either during his tenure. He's had some ups, but he's had more downs than ups. And so that's a complete side of the offensive line. And then for, like, left guard, you went and got a couple of veteran players, and I understand the logic behind that. You're trying to just, hey, let's get a guy good enough. We're good at left tackle. We're good at center. He doesn't have to be great. But on the right side, you've got more issues than Vogue. Like, it's too late now. Like, you are pot committed. We are sitting here on August the 13th. Like, anybody that you brought in right now would be playing catch up. Anybody that you brought in as a veteran player, well, there's a reason they're still out there available. Probably because they're either done in their mind or they're done because their body told them they were done.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, you don't have a true wide tight end that you're just going to attach. It's not part of what you do. Like, you don't want Foster having to be basically a second right tackle where you're in 12 personnel and you have to have a wide tight end either attached or unattached and basically helping on every play.
I mean, I thought Foster was the Y.
I mean, he is, but you don't want him within your offense right now without Johnson. Like, he's going to be out there running routes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want him having to be basically protection. Like, you do that in high school and college. You don't do that in the NFL.
Well, you know, here's to hoping they could surprise us and that group can improve going in. Hey, nowhere to go but up, boys. Don't lose the faith, Carnies. Okay? 2-0 in 2024.
Don't lose the faith.
Yeah, don't lose the faith, bro.
The Carnies?
Yeah, the Carnies, dude. Look at the last 6 games from last year.
If you talk about the last 6 games from last year, look at Saturday.
And look at the first one from this year. Yeah, a dub. All right, when we get back.
No thanks to him.
OTB Mailbag. Get your questions in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, youtube.com/1045 ESPN, and we'll answer all next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Coleman Roofing and Construction. ColemanRoof.com is the website. For all of your roofing needs, you want Coleman. They are the most complete, most reliable, and most respected roof company in Louisiana. Complete because, well, they do any size job, commercial, residential. They do it anywhere in the state of Louisiana. They install any type of roof that you could need, and you see it's Coleman Roofing and Construction because, God forbid, tree falls in your home or something. I know, I almost did on mine, right? Well, they'll actually rebuild the interior, then fix the roof. So any roofing project that you have, you're a business owner, you're building a new building, like anything, guys, go with the best. Go with ColemanRoof.com.
When you go to the website, look at that contact information in the top right corner. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Louisiana, they can help you out, residential and commercial. So find it on the site. Call them today, a one-stop shop, ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yeah, a lot of talk about Trevor Penning's technique. The problem with Penning is, and Jake mentioned having the yips. I certainly agree. He just doesn't know how to leverage his size or take advantage of his size. It's like he doesn't trust his size for some reason or another, but...
He doesn't trust his size. He doesn't trust his ability. So I've never been an offensive lineman, but I've certainly had plenty of opportunities to pass protect in the NFL and to punt protect.
Yeah.
Which if you're playing wing,
Very similar.
all you're doing is pass protecting off the edge. And you have to be so confident that, hey, my technique alone, forget my skill set. We'll get to that later. But by my technique alone, I am going to take away you rushing inside. You are not, by my technique, I'm telling you, you can't do it.
Yep.
And then if you bull rush me, I'm going to have technique. I'm going to drop my hips. I'm going to put my hands on your chest. I'm going to stop you. And if you go up the field, I'm just going to run you past the rail. You're not going to make the play. He doesn't have any of that right now. You have to be confident about that because, look, I've been in situations where I wasn't. When I was a rookie, I'm like, man, I got all these things. I got to stop him from going here, there, through me. Like, I can't do it. You have to be confident that your technique is so that you are going to take away what they want to do. Then they've got to try to play off what you took away, and then you have the advantage because you know they can't go one way or the other. He's backpedaling. He's not taking away anything right now.
He's caught in a vicious cycle of he doesn't trust his technique, so he doesn't use the right technique, which makes his technique worse, which then reinforces him not trusting his technique. So it is truly a descending circle of hell. It's not OTB Mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Would you rather, would you rather never make it to the Olympics to represent your country or make the Olympics and be so bad they remove your competition from the Olympics?
Which they did with breakdancing.
This is Rachel Gunn from Australia, who actually won the Oceania, competition. Like she won, the judges gave her the dub for Oceania Breaker to represent. So she won the competition. How about this?
Well, yeah, it's like when you win it in soccer, it doesn't really mean a whole lot.
How about this, though? She was
in that area.
She was Australia's Sportswoman of the Year.
Okay, now that is surprising because they are really good.
They have gold medals all over the place.
They are really good, like in women's soccer and some of the other main sports.
You gotta wonder, like, maybe who she related to. Like, she knows somebody high up. How'd she get Sportswoman of the Year?
I don't know. I will say this. I would still rather be Ray Gunn than not be Ray Gunn, though.
Oh, for sure. She had her moment, and
Yeah.
And just, you don't go out there and do what she did if you're not uber confident.
Uber confident.
Like,
crazy confident. The confidence that we should all strive for.
Yeah, I don't think that affected her one bit. I'm going to be honest with you.
Hashtag OTB Mac, if you'd pick one coworker to help you work outside all day on a job that has to be done during these 100-degree weather days, who would it be?
Anybody like in this room or anybody in this company?
Maybe anybody in the company. It does just say coworker.
Bo.
No.
Bo would be pretty damn good.
Bo would be good because he knows what he's doing, but also Bo would complain the whole time and be mad.
That's true.
I love when Bo gets mad. It's one of my favorite
I love
things.
when Bo
I'll go with Taylor.
So
I feel like Taylor likes it.
Dude, I worked outside till 8 o'clock on Saturday.
I think Taylor,
you just have to be willing to listen to him just take a
okay,
whole
well,
lot of takes.
since I can't go with myself, I'll go Richard Condon.
Speaking of having to deal with just being take that all day long. Oh my God.
No, I would enjoy it. I mean, that'd be who I would choose.
He would be just spouting.
Oh, imagine being locked in an elevator with him
nonsense.
Against your will.
Now, I feel like Paul O'Neill would not say one word.
That's true.
I worked with Paul. He was my producer for a couple years.
He would just work. I think insane.
So that you and him would not do well together.
No. Hashtag OTB.
Wait, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Who would be the person that would be like the last call that you made? Hunt?
T-Bob.
Hanny.
Oh, T-Bob. Hanny, T-Bob, Hunt.
Yeah, Hanny. Yeah, Hunt.
I'm
no
a
chance.
I'm a friggin' beast
Actually,
in the heat.
no,
but you would answer your phone.
You would not answer, and also you would also feel. I feel like you would also be one of the ones that would complain the entire time.
I would choose T-Bob.
I
don't think that
with the heat.
I just don't think. I don't think he would
heat,
answer.
But
no. You got it twisted. I love. I always tell people.
I know we were
there's
talking
one thing
about
I'm good
how,
at.
like, I like to run outside because it's so hot outside.
No, but if there's one thing I'm good at, it's manual labor.
Oh.
I can lift heavy stuff.
I think Hunt's the answer. I would choose you and Hanny easily over Hunt.
You go Hanny over Hunt?
Yeah, probably.
Would you?
Hashtag.
I don't know.
I don't know. He'd be mad the whole time.
Yeah, but Hanny would
in the best way possible.
Hanny would do it though. He'd be mad the whole time. He would do it. I'm not sure Hunt would ever do it.
That's true. I think Hanny would actually complete the task for sure.
Hashtag OTB mailbag from your O-line experience and mindset. What do you think Penny's biggest problem is? Mental or physical technique? I think it's mainly mental, which is causing the degradation of the physical technique, like we talked about. He's just caught in that vicious downward cycle.
Yeah, I think it's more mental than physical for sure. The physical tools have been there, but he is so mentally broken right now.
Yeah.
He is Chuck Knobloch trying to throw it from second base to first base. He's got the yips.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. What's one store you'll always go to, even if you just went recently?
What store?
Yeah, I don't go to a lot of stores, but I mean, I love stopping by like Little Wars, like a board game shop that you love, or maybe like a bookstore like Red Stick Reads, like where I don't really have anything that I need to buy. I just want to go soak in the ambiance, and then I'll probably buy something while I'm there that maybe I won't even end up using or something. But just feels so good to be in those spaces.
Any like vinyl record shop, I will do that.
Yeah,
like
same
that
deal.
will be like I always have to buy something, but I just like going through them as a family. My entire family, and Katie has always had an eye for furniture and decorating, but like the boys love going to Denham Springs and going to all the antique shops there. They love it. They'll find like old war medals or like stuff like that. The whole family loves it. We don't have to buy anything. We go sometimes and don't, but everybody likes just going.
Hashtag go to mailbag. Favorite cut of steak?
Filet.
Yeah.
Filet.
I was always a big
Sirloin.
bone-in ribeye, like no questions asked, but in my older age, as maybe stomach gets a bit more delicate, I have finally seen the appeal of the filet, where it's a delicious piece of steak and you don't have to eat like 22 ounces. Like it's okay. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a full 16-ounce steak. Hashtag go to mailbag. Hoka, On Cloud, or other?
On Cloud.
I feel like they're all pretty similar. I had a pair of Hokas for a year.
I've never tried Hokas, so I don't know.
That
I
was
love On
fine. I think I may have like Brooks now for when I run, and those are really good. So I don't know. I haven't noticed a difference between any of them, honestly.
I don't have either. Victoria has both, and she likes Hokas.
Nikes.
I went from like Adidas to On Cloud, and I've noticed like a significant difference.
I'm a meathead. You won't see On Cloud or Hokas on my feet.
I think it's more about, in terms of the difference, it's more about just one's an orthopedic shoe and one's not.
Yeah.
If you were to get an Adidas orthopedic shoe, I'm sure it'd feel like the others. Or a Nike orthopedic shoe, I'm sure it'd feel like the others. Hashtag OTB mailbag. How did y'all miss the Gold Chain Cowboy becoming a daddy over the weekend on Weekend Winners?
That's on me. He did.
Oh, congrats,
Parker. And
say Parker.
Hallie
say fella.
Ray. Major Yancey.
Parker and Callie,
Tyler.
right?
Hey.
Hallie Ray.
Callie Ray?
Hallie Ray.
Callie
Hey,
Ray?
Hallie.
Oh.
The H.
Tally Ray?
Was that me? Was
No,
I
that was
like,
him.
what?
Said that
That was
three
him.
times.
Ham.
And I was sitting there like, oh, it's a bit. Oh no, he doesn't understand.
With an N? No, it wasn't. I was doing a Step Brothers thing.
Sure.
Pam. Pam.
Oh, there's a D at the end.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. How good or bad would it be if NOLA actually got to host the Olympics?
I would actually.
We do
not
not
touching
have
that.
we do not have the infrastructure.
I'm not touching
But
for that,
as
unfortunately.
I sent in the group, New Orleans watched the Olympics more than anyone.
Oh, yeah.
More
I did
than
see that.
anybody. New Orleans watched the Olympics in the United
Really?
States. Yes.
I miss it, man. It was so much fun. What a treat here at the end of the summer to just carry us through kind of the final pre-football dead period with just constant competition.
It was great background fodder for me to be able to, because it was a lot of it was on during off campus, but I did have it on in my office, kind of eye hustling when I could. It was great to have sports on because both times that we do shows, there's not live sports, and so when we actually get the opportunity, like when we have a World Cup or something, we always love having it on here in studio. And we normally don't have that opportunity, so I did enjoy that.
All right, when we get back, more OTB, Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You need an outdoor kitchen. You want a pool. You want to put turf in your yard. Maybe get rid of the grass. Maybe just a strip of turf to trade the chitlins on. Anything, bulkheads, pergolas, any size or type of fence. Guys, you want Pinnacle. And the website, PECbuilt.com, I really can't recommend going to see that enough because the gallery is going to blow you away. Modern artisanship. I mean, wait until you see the house they built in Rouge. It's unlike anything that I've ever seen. So the best way to check that out for yourself is PECbuilt.com. Make your pool dreams happen today with Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
And so one of the things we always want to remind you about, it is commercial and residential and everything that they do over there. Also, if you're looking to add some artificial turf, that is the same thing, commercial at your business. Or if you want some at your house, you want a putting green, you want a space to work out, they can come, they can install that as well. Go to the website, PECbuilt.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
T-Bob, what was Bill Belichick's record when he used to be head coach of the Jets? What was his win-loss record? He was head coach 2 different stints.
Okay, for how many seasons?
One season each time, technically.
Okay, his record was 14-18.
Very close. He was named head coach of the Jets twice and never coached a single game.
Oh, okay.
He was named interim head coach, and then he knew that they were trying to get Bill Parcells from the Patriots. It was just a matter of the Patriots releasing him from his contract. That was in 97. Again in 99, he was named head coach when Parcells stepped down. 1 day later, he resigned. He took the head coaching job with the New England Patriots. Tell you that because the Jets are repeating history. Hassan Reddick has requested a trade yesterday. They traded for Hassan Reddick 4 months ago. He has been into their facility just one time the day he took their physical, and he has already requested a trade because they will not give him a new contract. Now, the Jets knew that he wanted a new contract because that's why he wanted out of Philly. They traded a third-round pick for him back in March, and Hassan Reddick, 29 years old, already wants out of the Jets, has stepped foot in their facility one time, has never practiced with the team.
That's toxic.
He's never practiced with the team, and he wants out.
That is toxic all the way around.
Yep.
And then I saw the quote this morning that the GM's like, no. Look,
I mean, you want to get a game out of it.
Traded for you. You will continue to be fined under the CBA. You're on this team. Come be a part of this team.
Speaking of his fine, he's missed 21 days of camp. That's $1.7 million in fines that he has acquired since being with the Jets.
What are we doing, dog? You got to go to work eventually.
He said, he said he wanted a new contract, and honestly, the Jets kind of knew this when they traded for him.
What happens if they try to fine you and you just retire?
Then you don't pay, but you can't play again.
You ever heard the?
What if you come back after you retire?
Then you gotta pay.
You ever heard the Gronk retirement story?
No.
So Gronk was almost traded to the Lions.
No, I remember that. And he
got the phone
retired.
call. And he was like, "No,
I
I retired," and so the trade fell through.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
obviously Carson Palmer literally retired his way out of Cincy.
If you're the Jets, though, okay. First off, Hassan Reddick, double-digit sacks in 4 straight seasons, and he's only 29, so he might be worth that extra money. But you're looking at him, you're like, okay, Hassan Reddick will not play for the Eagles under this current contract. Why the hell would he play for us under this current contract? I mean, it's kind of both parties are kind of.
Look, he's putting his money. He's walking that walk. He's trying to make a situation so untenable that they have to do something. But golly, $1 million in fines? Sheesh. Rough.
That is a lot of doll hairs.
Damn, we didn't even get to that Hugh Freeze sound I wanted to play. We're out of time.
Oh, I didn't even know today. That was the end of the show.
Yeah, Will Levis freaking has mayonnaise
like 2
cologne.
minutes right here that we can.
Yeah,
we can burn.
Back, maybe. All right, when we get back, Ask the Bench. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com. Look, you want to explore everything All-Star can offer you. You got plenty of makes and models, whatever your family may need. You want to join me in the MVG, the minivan gang? One of my partners just got a Sequoia, and oh my God, those things are incredible. So if you want a luxury SUV that's going to blow your family away, go check out the All-Star Toyota Sequoia right there on the lot. Custom order it however you want as well. You can do that on All-Star Toyota Express on the website. The bottom line, for all your vehicle needs, there's only one answer, and it's off of Airline and Goodwood, and it's All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
He is right about that, and it is buying new, it is leasing, and it is also in the rental department. If you've got a trip to see the Tigers play and you want to go ahead and reserve that rental today, get that done. Everything's available, and you can find all the information at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Musco.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always...
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey, welcome back to OTB. Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Curse Light. Visit your unfiltered Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Yeah, in case you missed it, in something that I'm not sure anybody asked for, you can now buy mayonnaise themed cologne, sponsored by Will Levis. If this cologne could somehow make me as attractive as Will Levis, I would be into it. What is... Do you think it just smells like mayonnaise? Because I don't think mayonnaise has a particularly overpowering scent. Which, really? Honestly, I don't want cologne to have an overpowering scent.
You don't think mayonnaise has a very specific kind of, oh, that's mayonnaise type smell?
Huh. I do not. But I mean, maybe I'm off base. I freaking love mayonnaise.
I do too.
I'm crazy about mayo. Like, every day, pretty much every day of my life, I just eat some sort of turkey, cheese, and mayonnaise sandwich with lettuce on it every single day. And I never get sick of it. I can eat it a million times. Look at this Adonis. Eating his bread and mayo with his 8-pack. That's false advertising. Taylor, I need you to order this, ironically, for the show so we can all taste, so we can smell what it smells like.
Okay.
I don't like how you said taste
Taste,
first.
I know, for real.
I don't like that.
Well, I mean, it's mayonnaise. Why wouldn't I taste it?
Yeah, but it's a cologne, so it's going to be sprayed on somebody.
Ask the Bench, would you rather have a tooth get pulled every day, it regrows overnight, or lose 2 fingers off of each hand?
Like same situation, they regrow every night, or
no, you're just down
just
2
lose
fingers
them.
on each hand. 4
tooth
fingers
every
total.
day.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's so awful.
But it grows back.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is worse. You ever heard of the tale of Sisyphus? Is it Sisyphus? Is that who? There's one guy who's like always having to push the stone uphill.
Oh.
But I think
it is.
No, I think
Sisyphus.
I think Sisyphus is the person that is chained up and like birds just like eat his insides forever. Which that's probably more like getting your tooth pulled. Like, okay, yeah, great, it regrows, good, so you can experience the pain of having it pulled out again the next day. I guess you get used to the pain maybe eventually.
Probably.
It is Sisyphus.
Which one? Pushing the rock uphill or the bird attacking it?
No, the rock up the hill.
Okay. Yeah, there's a Sisyphean element.
Stop.
Yeah.
To having to get that teeth pulled time and time again. Ricky asked the bench, does any race other than plain white guy use mayonnaise cologne? No, absolutely.
I mean, does anybody use?
Yeah, I was about to say, is there any race that actually
I don't know if that's like a.
Do white people love mayonnaise the most?
I don't know.
I kind of feel like they do.
I don't know what. Mexicans
I'm pretty
love
white,
mayonnaise.
and I love some mayo. So
yeah,
maybe my
white.
paste. Maybe just because normal pasty suburban white guys look like mayo the most.
Maybe. I don't really think it has anything to do with your race.
Prometheus. I disagree. If you're an Italian, it's an aioli.
That's not a race.
Italian? Absolutely is.
It's an ethnicity.
Yeah, it's a race. Look it up. Look it up. Dark-skinned, olive trees,
Not
fig juice, wine. Come on, Laundry. Keep up.
all right.
Prometheus was the one chained up getting his insides eaten every day because he brought fire to man. Thank you, Chet. I don't like avocado mayo.
I like Audio Slave.
Yeah, love Audio Slave.
I like All-Star 2 at Baton Rouge. Head over there.
Yeah.
Today, go.
They're tight, too.
Maybe looking at lease, rent, buy. Remember how the All-Star Toyota Service Center, all makes and models welcome. Doesn't be Toyota, doesn't be from All-Star. They get you right, man. They got factory parts right there in sight. Next to body shop, shuttle service to drop you back off, pick you back up, and rental cars at better rental day prices than your traditional rental companies. Ask the bench, maybe we should let... Nope, can't say that. Ask the bench, if Penny takes Viagra or Blue Chews, do you think he gets his confidence back?
No.
I think...
Is that bad?
I think playing in a game with just a raging medically induced erection would be horrible. Be very, very distracting and very tough to do.
Probably. I don't know. It could be an advantage. Who knows?
Really?
I don't know. Maybe.
You know how sometimes coaches tell you put his D in the dirt?
Mm-hmm.
It gives it a whole new meaning.
It does.
You ever anybody ever tell you to why don't you go dig a hole in the ground and... Why would you tell someone that? Why do you say that? I don't know. Can't remember.
There's a lot of sweet nothings that were whispered on a football field.
Ask the bench, fine dining or bar food?
Bar food,
Bar
easy.
food, easy.
Yeah.
All right, we love you. Tomorrow, flustering, fun. Be back. See you then. More OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Ba.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the